Good evening, race fans, and welcome to the last addition to the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Here tonight, we will crown our champion. We'll have a battle of six drivers racing it out for over $500 for the champion here tonight. It has been a grueling 23-week season, but here tonight, it culminates in a season finale on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Here tonight on this special broadcast, you have myself, William Tiller, also have Jacob Reeves, Michael McKinnon with that driver point of view, and of course Adam Fleeker, who's been with us all season long, providing all those sights and sounds you hear on every single broadcast. Jacob, here tonight, we're going to crown that champion. As I mentioned, we're in for one heck of a race. This is the track that I personally grew up at. What are we in store for here tonight?
Well, in store for a lot of tire fall off here at Charlotte. This track is very, very fast, and it's very, very rough as well. These guys are going to be in for I guess you could say, a rude awakening if they haven't been getting a lot of practice in this week. But I guarantee you, them Championship 6 drivers have been getting a lot of practice in, wanting to be able to crown themselves as a champion tonight. As you're sitting here looking at the temperature right now, 80 degrees out there. So, the air temp's not that bad. We're going to see what these guys is going to be able to do with that. Track temp's going to be right there at that same mark. So not hot, not too cold, but it's all going to be about who's going to make it last. Who's going to be able to not burn those tires up and make it to the end. That's going to be the one that's going to have a shot to win this race. And not only that, walk away with the money and win the championship.
Yeah, talking about money and championships. Here we go. The season finale starting grid is set. We'll have Chris Simmons leading the way. Newberg gonna ride off second. Justin White gonna roll off third here tonight. Fourth is gonna be Stephen Thomas. Fifth is gonna be Adam Newton in that 82. Sixth is gonna be Jacob Klinkard. Seventh position is gonna be Blake Lothian in that 43. Keith Bradley, the animal, is gonna roll off eighth. Ed Osborne's gonna roll off ninth in that 42, and Jose Luis Rivera is gonna roll off 10th.
Then coming right here with 11th, you're going to have Christopher Blanchard, and then Ashley Dodson's going to be 12th, Derek Kilgore 13th. Then you have James D. Morrison 14th. Devin Painter is going to be your top 15 as the pace truck is still out there on the racetrack. 16th will be Raul Meza. Brandon Bullock going to be 18th. Huck Wigington going to be 19th. And that is going to be your field. Cody Knott's going to be in the last position. So we're going to see what these guys has got right here, Will. I'm telling you, this has been a fun ride. I know I've had a shorter ride than you have here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series and here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. It's been a very, very fun couple of weeks that I've been here. But tonight we're fixing to get ready to crown a champion, and all of these guys that's in that top 6 know that. So we're going to see if those jitters, if those little bugs that they got in their stomach, we're going to see if they can keep it straight and hold it together for 150 laps here at Charlotte.
Yeah, I just talk about those jitters and that nervousness real quick. Michael, from a driver's point of view, if you're the Championship 6, how nervous are you coming in 3 and 4 right now?
I think you're only nervous hoping you can get a nice restart here. We don't get a big mess. We can get running right along and not have too many problems. And if you notice, boys, these contenders have brought their best bullets. Most, if not all, are in the top 10 to start this race.
Here we go, as Chris Cinnamon, Adam Newbert right there, Justin White, Stephen Thomas, Adam Newton. They take us to the drop of the green flag here in the season finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. This is the Triple M Pulling 125. One driver at the end of this race will be the champion, and let's crown it as Chris Cinnamon in that 3 takes us down to corner number 1.
And Chris Cinnamon getting a very good jump on Adam Newbert right there. He's going to be able to clear himself. Absolutely big time, starting to pull away a little bit. Justin White's going to be side by side with Adam Newbert. Newbert going to try to take the top, see if he can get that run going. Stephen Thomas right behind these guys. Everybody just chasing Chris Cinnamon as he's starting to pull away.
Yeah, and as they come off a 3 there, you see Cinnamon's line nice and easy. Newbert's going to get the big run off the top. That's normally here at Charlotte. But if your truck's handling pretty good and early on the tires here, you can make the bottom work for 10, 12 laps, and you'll probably see these guys start to migrate up to the top.
Cinnamon still keeping a very good line right there on the bottom of the racetrack, but he better watch his back bumper. Here he comes, Adam Newbert to the bottom from Toccoa, Georgia. The South boy, he's trying to give it to him right here as they come off forward.
Yeah, the money man right now trying to make it back-to-back championships. He won the championship in the Monday Night Series, the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series here tonight. Was a sleeper leading into this championship event. No more sleeping on him right now as the money man takes the lead off of 2.
And he will clear Cinnamon with these slides right up in front of him. Cinnamon's going to see if he can pull the slider on him and see if he can dump it down in there. Cinnamon, Newbert battling it out really early here in the championship race.
Yeah, it's got me worried a little bit about their tires, but see a big crossover there from Cinnamon and then almost door banging as they're coming down the front stretch here. Going into one, there's a bump. We'll see if they have any trouble negotiating that.
These guys showing a lot of muscle right here very early in this race. Cinnamon, Newbert, really 2 respected drivers here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series, duking it out very, very early right here. Newbert's going to slide back, maybe get a run on the top. Cinnamon leads him coming off forward.
Yeah, and you see Justin White going to ride on board with the 2 right now on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Has a courtside seat to this battle between Chris Cinnamon, Adam Newbert in that 4. Watch along the ticker here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. If your favorite driver is indicated in that gold or yellow background, they are in that chase for that championship as we're down the backstretch into 3.
And don't count out Jacob Klinkhart right behind these guys. He's one of those guys trying to vie for himself a championship, running at about 4th. Cinnamon still leads them off 4.
Yeah, I like the line everybody's taking right now. As I said, early in the race, the bottom works real good. We'll start to watch who might possibly start to slide up. But you see Justin White really able to wrap that bottom along with Klinkhart.
And Klinkhart right in his tire tracks, all of them chasing these 2 up front. Chris Cinnamon, Adam Newbert, all up in his tailgate as they go into turn 3. Now White's going to be up Newbert's tailgate as they're going to come off turn 4. Everybody chasing Chris Cinnamon.
Wasting no time, 6 laps into the season finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series as we cross that start-finish line, make it 7. Chris Cinnamon still leading the way into the apex of 1 and 2. We'll jump back between a battle between Blake Lothian and Jose Luis Rivera. This is a battle to stay inside the top 10. We look at also James D. Morris and Derek Kilgore back here in the mix. Devin Painter in that 99 now under fire into 3 and 4.
And Painter's sitting there running what he can. He's been on a good streak, running real good here as of late. Painter's going to have Morris right up under him as they're going to go across the stripe. Painter not going to give it up as bad as he wants to. He's wanting to be able to see if he can keep this momentum as they come off of turn number 2. Cinnamon still leading this bad boy with Newbert right in his tire tracks. These two is actually starting to open up a little bit of a gap on Justin White and Jacob Klinkhart.
Yeah, maybe a little strategy there. They're not teammates, but Adam knows if he can get in the draft, run his line along with him, he's going to save a little more tire. And you see Jacob doing the exact same thing with Justin there. It's let me run, keep my line, try to keep my tires under me. We'll see what we got here a little bit later on.
And I talked about this earlier with the tire wear that these guys is going to have to deal with. A lot of fall off that these guys are going to have to deal with, already off half a second from where they was for qualifying. Cinnamon still running up front. Newbert still right behind him as they come off forward.
Yeah, as we ride on board with James D. Morris here driving the 96 machine in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Let's talk about that here, Jacob. Here tonight, stage number 1 will end on lap 40. Stage number 2, lap 80. It will end this season on lap 150. 5 sets of tires, 100% fuel capacity. And guys, you both have experience behind the wheel of these trucks. What's going to be the biggest factor in crowning a champion here tonight?
As I said earlier, it's going to be all about the tire wear. It's going to be all about what you can do to save your tires the best that you possibly can. Obviously, with 100% fuel, the fuel's not going to be in that much of play, at least till the final stage. But them first 2 stages, 40 laps apiece, you're going to have to either split those stages in half, or you can possibly make it all the way. So you got to be able to manage your tires, or you got to be able to try to get a jump on everybody in front of you. What do you think, Michael?
Well, I agree 100% on the tires, and it's also, you got to manage your line here. Like I said, you're going to get tight. You can't help it. It's, can you handle the adjustment when you have to go up the track, look for a little more grip? If you can keep your pace. If not, you're going to be a sitting duck.
Cinnamon down the back stretch. Newbert still in his tire tracks. White still running back there in the third position. Clinkhart is in fourth. Stephen Thomas in fifth. Everybody's still seeing if they can catch Chris Cinnamon.
Recon pace, 12 laps into the Triple M, pulling 225 here tonight. We're single file down the front stretch, and you see these drivers just lingering with one another. One thing that stands out to me, guys, here as we're off of corner number 2, we see the shot on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Mostly championship drivers here inside the top 5, as now we're into 3 and 4.
And that is not common, or excuse me, that is common to see that right there with these guys. They have put on a hell of a show all season long, and they're making it work here at Charlotte.
Yeah, and it's also a little play for strategy here, guys. They stay there, they wait for a mistake, and then they move up. They're not trying to force the issue, only 16, 17 laps into this race. The whole season coming down to this one. They don't want to mess it up in the first 20.
7 truck breakaway at the front of the field. Adam Newton will be the caboose on that 7 truck train. Is Cinnamon up front, Newbert, Justin White, Clinkhart, and Stephen Thomas.
As we cross the start-finish line, now going down into corner number 1, you see Justin White to the inside of Adam Newbert here into 1 and 2. This battle has been brewing on and on here as we come off of corner number 2. Justin White still trying to hold on. We talked about what Adam Newbert can accomplish here tonight. He can win 2 series championships in an 8-month span here tonight, though. He has to keep away Justin White, as Justin White will steal that position off of 4.
Yeah, and that's a good deal there for Adam to get back in line there. Like I said, you wait for the little mistake. Justin took advantage. What Newbert didn't want to happen there was the whole freight train get him. So he's able to drop back in line. He should be able to manage the damage here.
Justin White in the 2 truck. He's not one of those guys that is in this playoff picture, but he can play spoiler and still get him a win here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Justin White in the 2 truck, seeing if he can try to chase down Chris Cinnamon as they come off turn 4.
Off 4 single file, top 3 positions. We see Stephen Thomas, though. He's under fire there for the 4th position. Keith Bradley, the animal, is already eating up spots here tonight, up 3 spots from the drop of the green flag. He's to the inside of Stephen Thomas, the 23, as we're into the apex of 1 and 2 here down the backstretch. Also see Jacob Clinkhart in that 5. He's right there in the mix as well, guys, as we're into 3 and 4. The animal is trying to eat here tonight.
Clinkhart lingering behind these guys, wanting to see if he can make it past them the best that he can. Cinnamon still leading them off of turn number 4 as White's starting to close in.
Yeah, and this battle right here is going to hurt both these guys in position if somebody can't make this work. I'm seeing that, this is close racing. We're door to door. Steven giving a little more ground this time, but I don't know if Keith's still going to be able to pull us off with the momentum from the high side.
And up front, we have a lead change. Justin White has took the lead here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, getting around Chris Cinnamon. That is a big deal right there for Justin White to be able to get around him. Justin White leads all 4.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's been a running trend in these playoff races is these drivers who are out of contention. We look at Devin Painter in the 99, won at Rockingham 2 weeks ago. Taylor Peacock in the 81, won last week coming into this championship race. So this is a trend that we've seen during these playoff races, as Justin White's going to lead a trail of dogs into 3 and 4.
And he looks like he's actually starting to pull away a little bit from Chris Cinnamon. White might be putting on the afterburners right now, starting to pull away.
Yeah, and what you see, I think, from these guys, they're going to go as hard as they can, find out what's happening with the tire wear. I think Chris is finding out he went a little bit too hard. He'll make an adjustment later in the race. He is one of the best, if not the best, at doing that in the series.
And that's the good thing about having these stage breaks. These guys will be able to see what the other competition is doing and see if they can adjust their trucks accordingly and adjust their lines accordingly to the next run. Justin White up front. Chris Cinnamon better watch his back bumper. Newbert's up it.
Yeah, Newbert, the money man, right here, trying to cash in at Charlotte Motor Speedway. A lot of historic things have happened at this racetrack. Some more history will be had here tonight as Adam Newbert's inside the top 3 here off of 2. Still trying the inside of Chris Cinnamon, who here tonight hasn't been outside of the top 3. 21 laps into this race. We're into 3 and 4, and there he goes to the inside.
Newbert gonna stuff it in there, see if he can make it stick. He'll back away. Knew he maybe took it just a little bit too hard. Cinnamon's still gonna have second. Newbert gonna be in third.
Yeah, you saw the difference of line. They were running into 1 and 2. Adam with a big arc and able to get a much bigger run. As here we go with Stephen Thomas. He's going to make his move to the inside of Newbert right now.
Stephen Thomas, another one of those guys that is in this championship 6. Look like he may try to shut the door. He will clear Adam Newbert. So move Stephen Thomas up to third. And watch out for the animal, Keith Bradley. This is one of his best tracks. This is one of his playgrounds. He's making it known as he's going to go for Newbert right here.
Yeah, and I love what Michael just talked about there. This is that experimental period for these drivers. They're seeing how much stress, how much wear they can put on these tires here. Right now, Stephen Thomas does not want to look in his rear view mirror as Keith Bradley, Adam Newbert are right there. But guys, he is catching the draft off of the 3. We might have a battle for second into 3 and 4.
It's going to be a serious battle right here. Stephen Thomas has come out of nowhere, coming up here, trying to see if he can get a hold of Chris Cinnamon, the animal, and Adam Newbert, the money man, and Adam going at it right here.
Yeah, a lot of respect shown by everybody so far. Like I said, we're 24 laps in the run. You can see if the big arc is working. It's going to be hard for Keith to pull this pass off if he can't find the way to get the exit done. You'll see Newbert once again able to hold on. The outside carrying the momentum.
Well, Michael, he's getting that run off of the top, like you said, able to make it work on the top. Adam Newbert gonna hold off Keith Bradley, but he's got to see if he can catch Chris Cinnamon and Stephen Thomas. We still got a long way to go, but I'm telling you right now, Chris Cinnamon, Stephen Thomas, they're looking pretty good.
Yeah, well, I'm used to seeing him do it. I'm sorry, Will, I jumped in the wrong spot there, but I'm used to seeing Stephen Thomas do this. He is super patient on tires most of the time. He probably did his normal race. He didn't stress the truck too much, so I would expect this change for second here coming soon. Go ahead, Will.
No, as we're under 3 and 4, I'll ask you about this 23 truck of Stephen Thomas. You see him on this run right now. He keeps thinking about going to the inside of Chris Cinnamon in the 3. Do you think here, we're looking at around 14, 15 laps to go here in the stage. Do you think he tries to press for the lead?
No, I don't think he's going to press anything right now. I think he's going to take what comes to him as normal. I believe that's our defending champion right there in 23. So he knows how to get this done. I think if somebody makes a little mistake, he'll pounce on it. He'll take what he can get, come down to pits, get his new tires, and try it again.
And I know we are talking about these Championship 6 drivers, but I'm telling you, Justin White is absolutely checking out from this field. Justin White almost at a second right now over Chris Cinnamon. 1.1 seconds over Chris Cinnamon. So Justin White, he knows that these guys are running for a championship, but he does not want to play around too much longer. He's going to still, I mean, you can see it on your screen. Big, huge gap from the first to the second place guy. And then after that, it's just a wad of cars trying to chase Chris Cinnamon for second.
Yeah, he won't have any worries of being a bother for these guys if he's 2 seconds out ahead. So he's probably feeling pretty good right now. He is, of course, one of the better ones you'll see on a Monday night series. And I'm looking for these guys to probably make adjustments later on. We'll see if he can get away every time.
Yeah, Justin White looking really, really good here. And Chris Cinnamon running in second. Stephen Thomas, Adam Newbert, Keith Bradley. That's going to be your top 5. The animal Bradley thought he would actually be one of these guys to really start moving it up through the field. But as of right now, looks like he's just content running 5th.
Yeah, one of those drivers right now that's one of those championship drivers that's inside the top 10, Jose Luis Rivera. He finds himself behind some traffic, though. Devin Painter in the 99's right there. Jacob Klinkart, Blake Lothian's in the mix. Adam Newton as well. So, guys, for the 20, we talked about how he's always stayed in the fight. He's always made sure he advanced to the next round. What do you think the 20 has to do right now? Running inside the top 10, but not as fast as the other championship drivers.
Well, he's going to have to change a little bit of whatever he's doing, of course, but I also noticed something earlier. He was having connectivity issues, and that will slow the truck down. It just does. If you're having problems connecting, it slows it down. It may have cost him a little spot there. we'll see if he can gather it back in later on.
Chris Cinnamon running the top. Stephen Thomas looked like he was going to see if he could take a shot at Chris Cinnamon, take the lead of these championship guys. But up front, Justin White still checking out from this field, literally growing this lead. Now here comes Stephen Thomas to the inside of Chris Cinnamon for second.
Yeah, strong racing right here. Here comes all four. They're going to try to hang Chris out. They know Chris is strong. If they can hang him out here, maybe they can get a run. But this is going to be, once again, can you make it stick? If not, Chris is going to drive right back around him on the straight.
He's going to be able to find a hole right there. He's going to be able to find a hole and slide right in behind Stephen Thomas, be right up his tailgate, slid right in front of Adam Newbert. So put Stephen Thomas up to second, Cinnamon back to third, and now Adam Newbert and Keith Bradley, they're going to see if they can get around him.
Yeah, right now Stephen Thomas going to lead this trail of drivers off of 4 as we cross that start-finish line. 9 laps to go here in stage number 1. Stage points might come into a factor as we have brief contact between Chris Cinnamon in the 3 and Adam Newbert into 1 and 2 right now. We're off of 2. They're drifting up the track. We might have a squeeze job off of 2. We do. Briefly 3 wide. Keith Bradley will take the advantage as he goes to the inside of Chris Cinnamon 3 and 4.
Bradley made a great move, saw all of that going on. He's going to get a 2-for-1 this lap, put Bradley all the way up to third, Cinnamon to fourth, Newbert back to fifth.
Yeah, right there you see Chris, he got loose. He's chasing and chasing it up the track, trying not to get freight train. That was very close to calamity.
Yeah, very, very close to calamity. And this early in this championship race, you really don't want to have any type of issues. Right now, Chris Cinnamon, he's just waiting on that stage break here in about the next 6 or 7 laps, be able to get that truck lined up and get it going for the rest of this race. But right now, it's still Justin White who is checking out from the rest of the field.
And guys, the way these playoffs have played out the last few weeks with these non-championship drivers winning these races, it may come down to stage points here tonight. That's why you see this frantic pace here just a few laps into this race. We count them down here in stage number 1. We'll end on lap 40 right now as things are getting a little fanned out into 3 and 4.
Stephen Thomas still trying to see if he can catch up. Bradley still running in third. Newbert and Cinnamon still trying to run their respective lines, just waiting to the end of the stage.
Yeah, and we remember no stage points matter for these guys tonight. This is all positioning. Whoever finishes ahead of the next guy that's in the championships, they win the championship. So they're just trying to hang on, no damage, get to the pit stop, and then make their adjustments.
And Cinnamon was really close to being one of those guys to get that early damage. Now he's going to make a run at Adam Newbert. So that's going to move Cinnamon up to fourth, Newbert back to fifth. These guys have been battling it out for fourth as Newbert's going to take another shot at him.
Yeah, Michael, as we watch these laps tick down here, as Adam Newbert goes to the inside of Chris Cinnamon in that 3, the 4 machine's going to go blazing by into 1 and 2. There goes Adam Newton as well. You throw those stage points out of the window, as you just mentioned, Michael. What's the motivation here, trying to win the stage, if there is any, or do you just try to linger in the stage to make it to the end of the race?
You can see it's real hard to pass, so this is about track position. Can I get another spot? Can I get 2? Get on and off pit road quicker than the guy? Keep my track position. You don't want to lose 2 spots here and then lose 2 on pit road. You're down 4, so that's what it's all about, track position right now.
And Newbert's trying to keep that track position. The 2 Adams battling it out right now, Adam and Adam, for a top 5 as we're closing in at the end of this stage. Cinnamon still trying to run the top, trying to make that top lane work, but Newbert's still able to close in on him just little by little, and Adam Newton is still lurking back there behind him.
Yeah, 82 machine there at the tail end of this. But guys, we took all the attention away from our leader still in this race, Justin White. The 2 now has about a 2-second lead into 1 and 2, which you guys have talked about it. We've talked about it. This battle, though, between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th just has been raging on here for the last 15 or so laps as we're off of 2.
And Bradley is trying to see if he can close in on Stephen Thomas a little bit. These guys right here trying to flex a little bit of muscle, show these guys what they've got for later on in the race. Some of these guys, like Chris Cinnamon, maybe even laying back just a little bit, not wanting to show his hand this early.
Yeah, and you got a guy like Keith here, just to put a spotlight on him for a minute, doing a great job trying to run down Stephen. That is the Nazareth all-time wins leader, but he has also got the reputation of the Denny Hamlin. He has not been able to close the deal, and you know he is chomping at the bit to get this one.
Yeah, he's closing, trying to get a hold of of Stephen Thomas the best he can. But, Will, you just touched on it a while ago. I mean, we've been talking about this battle back here by all these championship guys. One guy up front checking out is Justin White. Newbert under fire back here from Chris Cinnamon. Cinnamon is still trying to run the top and make it work. Newbert stuffs it on his inside, door to door, side by side as they go down the backstretch for the final time here in this stage.
As they're playing Rock'em Sock'em Robots into 3 and 4 right now, Justin White will win stage number 1 of the Triple M pulling 225 as the battles still continue to the line right now. Second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth is the battle that we've been watching all race long, as that'll officially end stage number 1 of our season finale championship race here, guys. We see Justin White win that stage. Closest championship contender right now is Stephen Thomas in that 23. How about it?
Yeah, Justin White. Go ahead, Michael.
No, I'm just saying, you're seeing the guys make their moves there. Justin got away. Just a phenomenal job right there. But we was talking about the stage break. I think the happiest man in the whole place is Chris Cinnamon. I don't think he was trying to run the top. I think that's the only place he could run. So he can't wait to put some new Goodyear Eagles on the machine.
I'll be honest with you, Michael. I don't know if he was the only one that really was waiting on that caution. There was one guy back here in 19th spot, Jose Luis Rivera, all the way back in the 19th spot. Not real sure exactly what happened to him. We knew he was actually struggling a little bit, may have burned his tires up just a little bit, but he was right up there inside the top 10. Now he's all the way back in 19th spot.
A lot to watch out for here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll step aside for our first break of the evening here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We'll be right back with more championship racing. Welcome back, everybody, to the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We're back here in the Queen City on this championship night. It's myself, William Tiller, Jacob Reeves. We have that driver point of view of Michael McKinnon. Adam Flieger is the producer here tonight. Just saw Justin White, a non-championship driver, win stage number 1, guys. We saw quite a battle for second, third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth. Rage on between all of our championship drivers, with the exception of Jose Luis Rivera. We talked about that off air for just a second. Some trouble is behind the cockpit of that 20.
Yeah, it just seemed like it's just the handling's not the way he wants it to be right now. Hopefully he can make an adjustment. I would expect to see him do an early push here, move forward, and then we'll be able to see if he can hold it and stabilize his position.
Well, you talked about that right there, Michael and Will. We got, still a long way to go in this race. I know them 40 laps just went by. We was talking about it. It went by like the blink of an eye. But you still got a long way to go for Jose Luis Rivera to be able to try to figure something out, be able to see if he can save his tires, make something work, try a different line, see if something will work out for him. But I mean, he's in a little bit of a hole back there. He looks like he's in the 16th spot, so he's in a little bit of a hole. But like I said, he's still got a long race left to go. He can still dig himself out of this.
Absolutely. As stage 2, we'll race it down to lap number 80 here as we have just another lap here under caution. Let's see if we can check out those championship point standings to see who those 6 that we've been talking about all night long are. And there you go, guys. You check it out right there. Of course, we've talked about the animal of Keith Bradley, Adam Newbert, that money man, Jose Luis Rivera, Chris Cinnamon, Stephen Thomas, Jacob Klinkart will all battle it out for over $500 here tonight in the Queen City. Guys, for me, I look at some underdogs. My sleeper pick has got to be the 3 of Chris Cinnamon.
Yeah, for me, I've picked Keith Bradley. I guess kind of sentimental. He started in this thing with us, same as Chris, but as I said, all times wins leader, never been able to close the deal on the championship. So I've been really keeping an eye on what's going on with his truck.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, I got to side with Michael a little bit right there with the sentimental value. I mean, he knows how to get it done. He knows how to get to this stage. But he's got to figure out how to be able to finish it off. He's got to be able to get to that end and be able to get there. So I'm on Michael. I think Keith Bradley, he's going to be that sleeper pick. He's going to be that guy I think that's going to be able to get up here and give these guys a run for their money.
He's going to have a fight. I know that much because Stephen Thomas up here, Newbert, these boys, they don't mess around. When they get that bone in front of them, they're going to get a hold of it, grab it, and they ain't going to let go.
We watch here in these next 40 laps what it's going to be, what it's going to look like. We expect the volume to turn up. We expect the caution flags to fly. No caution flags there in stage number 1. But just like the start of this race, we'll have Justin White, Stephen Thomas taking us to the drop of the green flag. Justin White in the 2 will take us down to corner number 1.
Justin White getting a very good jump right here on this start. Stephen Thomas going to be on the bottom. He's going to see if he can clear Adam Newbert. Newbert's not going to give him any inch, but he's going to be able to get him. Stephen Thomas going to be able to clear, clear Adam Newbert right here off of 2. Newbert going to go back to 3rd. Bradley back here seeing if he's going to be able to stuff it in. He's side by side with Adam Newton as they go into 3.
Yeah, and that inside lane's a little rough on these guys' first couple laps. Oh, there you see it, a little bit loose. You got to wait for the air pressures to come up. As soon as they do, the bottom's good for a bit. But let's see if they change strategies this time and see if they can keep up with Justin on this one. I expect a couple of these guys will.
Caution. Oh, it was a big pileup. It looks like into 1 and 2. Sorry about that, Michael. As we got a shot of the 37 machine of Raul Meza there. Chris Blanchard in the 9. Huck Whittington in the 00. Looks like Zach Hartwick there in that 96 machine, if I'm not mistaken. No, that is James D. Morris in the 96 machine that's caught up in our first caution of the night here in stage number 2.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about it with all the wrecks that we were basically waiting on right there. And looked like it was with Christopher Blanchard and Raul Meza. Meza actually blinked just a little bit when they went, as you see it on your screen, actually blinked just a little bit going in there. And wow, I mean, holy net code right here. You're going to see it. Wow, I mean, just straight up net code right there. Nothing for Blanchard to do, and nothing for Meza to be able to do right there as well. I mean, it's just, he blinked, and then he came back, but he came back, I mean, heck, he had a trailer length between both of those trucks, and, I mean, we talked about it, last week at Talladega about all the net code that happens. That's just one of those instances right there where netcode just played in, and unfortunate for Christopher Blanchard and Raul Meza.
Yeah, and here's why it's more unfortunate. I mean, we're paying all the way down to top 10 in points tonight, and that could cause an issue right there. And then you see James Huck lets out, and James getting the back, just a little incidental contact. But that is just a shame. That's one of the worst I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that right there. I mean, Michael. I mean, I've seen some net code, but that is net code right there. That needs to be sent into iRacing and get their stuff figured out, because that is crazy. The gap, like I said, almost a trailer length, I guess you could say, from what it was. I mean, he was there, he blinked out, and then once he came back, I mean, he was actually gone, and then Blanchard was already spinning. I mean, like I said, there was nothing for any one of those guys that could do in that instance.
If you've ever been in it, it's a little scary. I almost guarantee you Chris saw Raul's truck in his truck. It's one of those deals that just jumps you. Then it's got to figure out where to put you back down, and that's just a shame for everybody.
As we have our first caution of the night here, guys, a bright side of that caution, though, no championship drivers involved in that. Still some money could be shaken up there. Michael, as you talked about, will pay out top 10 in points. That's an awesome thing about these NASRA leagues. The sponsor will change next season here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. We'll be able to reveal that after this race. But an excellent thing that I try to recruit people on, Michael, is that we pay out every single race in the championship race. So even though it's a long season, it's a long, grueling race sometimes, you can still make a pretty good amount of money here racing your truck.
Well, and that's right. I mean, if you're a strong runner, you'll do well. If you can get top fives and all that, you can pay your way to race. You can race for free. To me, it's about as fair as you could ask for in one of these leagues.
Yeah, I mean, well, the money aspect, you know, that I don't honestly think that maybe that's why these guys are doing it. Obviously, I mean, the money is always a nice thing to have. But, you know, these guys, I'm sure, you know, Michael, you talked about it. These guys have been running together for going on 3 years. We talked about this earlier. These guys right here, they've got a great camaraderie. And, Michael, you know more about this way more than me and Will does, the camaraderie that these guys have. You know, I think that's what drives them every single week to come out here, because they know each other's tendencies. They know that I mean, odds are they probably met up, I'm sure, in the past. So, I mean, all these guys are real good friends racing together, and these guys know one another. And I think that, honestly, that might be, in my opinion, what drives them to come every Friday night and race. I mean, would you agree or not?
Well, I would agree 100%. I mean, we've had guys meet each other at places like Talladega and other racetracks. They'll meet each other, plan a trip. And let's be honest, all of us that race, we know who the fast guys are. So we measure ourselves with them. We want to try to make improvements. We want to beat them. So it's a challenge every week. And that's why guys show up, you know, week after week, year after year. And then you see in our chat group, we got half the guys from the league that can't race tonight. They're in there, they're cheering on, they're watching. It's a family. I mean, there's no question about it. It has been a long time. We all fight like brothers, but it all comes down in the end. We're all family.
As we're still under yellow here, awaiting the restart of this race, and going off of what you guys were saying here, just to put a bow on it, you know, the wins, everything, that's cool. Making money during the season, that's cool as well. We tie into all that. We have 2 drivers here tonight that haven't won the entire season that have a shot at a championship here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Jacob Klinkart, Jose Luis Rivera, neither one of them won a race during the regular season, could be crowned our champion at the end of this race.
Well, Jose Luis Rivera, we've talked about him over the past couple of weeks. This guy right here has basically battled through adversity every single week. I mean, he barely got in to the round before this. I believe it was by 1 point, I believe it was. So, I mean, this guy right here has battled through a lot of adversity. And, you know, even though, you know, any of these guys in this championship 6, even if they don't win the championship, it's still something to hold your head high and say, yeah, I was in that championship 6 in Charlotte.
As the green flag's going to wave on this restart after our first caution of the night, Justin White in that 2 machine, Mr. White, will take us down to corner number 1.
And he gets a pretty good jump right here on the top. Not as good as he did on that last restart. Stephen Thomas looks like he's actually going to hold at bay right here with Justin White. But you better watch out. On the top side, the animal, Keith Bradley, making that top lane work, using the draft off of Justin White right up his tailgate as they go into turn number 3. Justin White still leads now. Keith Bradley's going to be in second.
Yeah, Keith able to give Justin a big push there, throw him out in front of Steven, and then follow him right through. Pick up a position, and let's see if he can hold serve with Justin here for a little bit.
Looks like Keith Bradley was able to make a couple of adjustments on that previous caution, be able to get something going. But look at this. Blake Lothian out of nowhere has come up here and spoiled the party as well. The 43 of Blake Lothian makes a huge run, stuffs it on the inside of Keith Bradley. Now Blake Lothian's going to go to second. He's going to challenge Justin White for the lead.
Yeah, shout out Owen Wilson, shout out Vince Vaughn. He's been playing Wedding Crasher here the past couple of weeks, picking up wins in these playoff races. He said, I might not be a championship driver, but I'll go ahead and snatch this lead from Justin White into 1 and 2 as Blake Lothian leads the way down the backstretch.
Surprise, surprise for the 43. Blake Lothian to the lead. Justin White going to be back in second. Bradley's under fire. He's got Chris Cinnamon up to his top side. Cinnamon going to see if he can make the top lane work.
I don't think Keith really wants to bottom here, but he was kind of forced back in line. And Cinnamon's going to try to take advantage of that right here. Because I think at the end of that last stage, he found a little something too, and you see it there. Drove it in real deep and just took third.
Wow, he was really tight on Keith Bradley's back end on the right side. Bradley looks like he's actually starting to slide back just a little bit. Painter up his tailgate now. So it's Blake Lothian, Justin White. Now it's Chris Cinnamon that's going to be in third. Bradley in fourth. Devin Painter back in the top 5.
Right now, single file across the start-finish line down into corner 1 and 2. You see Stephen Thomas in this shot. Now has to try to get around the 99, Devin Painter, who's been pretty high as of late. Got those thunderbolts down the hood of that 99 here down the backstretch, guys. Still single file. There goes that 99 to the inside of Keith Bradley into 3 and 4. David Painter is going to try to snatch a position from the animal. He does just that off of 4. He snatches that position now inside the top 5.
Yeah, I'm starting to think Keith might be trying a little something here for the long run later on. He's not pressing the issue. It looks like he's lifting a little early. Do you see Cinnamon once again just stuffing it to the outside right there? Big run right into second place easily.
Making the Kyle Larson line work on the top lane here at Charlotte. Chris Cinnamon starting to show a little bit of muscle. You know, a while ago, looked like he was actually starting to slide back just a little bit, but he is showing some muscle right here in second stage. He's going to be up to 6. Justin White starting to see if he can get back to him. Painter right here ahead of Keith Bradley. Bradley's going to see if he can stuff it on the inside of Painter. He will not. Bradley will have to fall in line. So right now you got Blake Lothian looking like he was Justin White from first stage. Now it's Blake Lothian doing the same thing, leading with Cinnamon, White, Painter, and Keith Bradley.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing right here, we're starting to see the high line starting to migrate up just a bit. The runs are really coming hard off the top right here. So let's see if Chris stays up there. Yeah, he's going to make the adjustment. He's going to be the top line feeder for a while. We'll see if he's able to run down Blake here in a little bit. Blake looked real strong on the start there, but let's see if he's got enough tire left.
And Michael, I want to ask you this. I mean, you know, I've been a driver as well, driving these trucks here at Charlotte, driving the next-gen cars at Charlotte, Xpandy cars at Charlotte, Kansas, Texas, wherever you want to call it. The bottom lane and the top lane, you being the driver input guy, running the top lane, wouldn't that burn your tires up even more than it would be on the bottom?
Well, you would think it would, but if enough guys go up there and put the rubber down, if you're running in the rubber, you're saving a little bit of rubber. You're not actually, scrubbing as much off on the abrasive surface. And you can see everybody's starting to find a little something up there. So I expect that's where it's all going to go.
Blake Lothian still leading this bad boy with Chris Cinnamon still way back, maybe almost a second back than Justin White. Going to be back in third. Devin Painter and Keith Bradley. Some guys back here on the back. Adam Newbert, Stephen Thomas right behind Bradley, 6th and 7th respectively. And then Adam Newton, Jacob Klinkhart going to be in 9th. Raul Meza in 10th. One other guy, Jose Luis Rivera, that's in that championship 6, running right behind these guys in 11th place.
Yeah, difficult position to be in if you're the 20 machine. As we come down the front stretch here at Charlotte, going to make it lap 62 down to 1 and 2. Again, stage number 2 will end on lap 80. And as we go around here and Michael, I wanted to ask you here, as you know these drivers, you've raced with these drivers, and I think I asked you the same question on our Monday night series. What does winning a championship mean for one of those 6 drivers here tonight?
Well, I have unfortunately not been able to do it, but to me it would mean these are grueling seasons. We basically do a real season, 22 races. You put all the time, all the effort in, and to be able to stand up in victory lane with the championship trophy, that would just be the pinnacle for me. That would just prove I can do it against the best in the business.
Well, the guy right now that's leading that charge for the championship, Chris Cinnamon, better watch his tailgate. Justin White still seeing if he can close in on him, but with Cinnamon getting that huge lead that he's got over these other guys with Keith Bradley and Stephen Thomas, I mean, honestly, right now, Cinnamon may have found something in that last stage and get in there and get some adjustments made. Looks like he may be the horse to pull this off here tonight. But right now, Cinnamon still trying to pull away from these other guys in second place. Bradley back in fifth. Stephen Thomas and Adam Newbert back in sixth and seventh.
Yeah, absolutely. As this race rages on, 64 laps into the season finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. This is the Triple M Pulling 225. Blake Lothian leading the way in that 43 truck, a non-championship driver. Race was led before that by Justin White in that 2, also a non-championship driver, as he looks to the inside of Chris Cinnamon there. Like Chris Cinnamon's going to make contact with the top side wall just briefly, though. Not going to affect that 3, as he's going to ride now on the back bumper of the 2 into 3 and 4. Justin White securely in second, but he's going to look to the inside of our leader, Blake Lothian. Off, or he's going to stick right there. There you go, Jacob, into 1 and 2.
Yeah, I mean, Blake Lothian may have had a little bit of a problem, and I think that is grip. He pulled away there at the start, but it looks like Justin White was able to save a little bit of tire and be able to get something going and get around him. So it's going to be Justin White that's going to be leading this bad boy. Blake Lothian back in second. Chris Cinnamon right behind these guys. Don't count him out. I mean, obviously he is in the championship hunt, but still he wants to be able to take home a win here at Charlotte.
Yeah, you can visibly see the gap closing on Chris. I think he tried something a little different again and found out almost got the same results as we got a caution on
we got a caution.
Brandon Bullock around there in 3 and 4, I think.
Good call there, Michael, as Brandon Bullock in that 17 truck. He was a playoff driver to kick off these playoff races. Fortunately, didn't have enough to race for a championship. As we check out this caution flag instant replay, looks like it's going to start brewing off a 2 there, Jacob.
Yeah, it looked like Zach Hartwick right here with Brandon Bullock. Looked like Hartwick went into turn number 1, made a pretty good move, ran the middle. Bullock tried to make that top lane work, and then Bullock got the run, as you're going to see right here, comes off of the corner, and Hartwick just tried to see if he could clear. Thought he was just a little bit clear, but Bullock was there and just ended up stuffing Hartwick straight into the fence, and Bullock gets the worst end of it as well. So, I mean, that's just a miscommunication, I think, from spotter and driver. In that particular instance, Hartwick thought he was clear, and he wasn't. So, you know, I mean, it's a racing incident. I mean, obviously, none of these guys are doing anything intentional, obviously. But I'll say this is what's throwing some of these guys off, is that these cautions are coming out, and it's maybe throwing these guys' strategy off just a little bit.
Oh, I'm going to agree with you 100% right there. Yeah, these guys wanted to get that info for that last run. This is going to throw it off a little bit, and you're 100% right. That was, I thought I was clear. I am not. And those guys are teammates next year, so I'm really looking forward to that driver chat there.
Absolutely, as we're under yellow for only the second time here tonight in the Triple M Pulling 225. And Michael, I'll ask you that. Do these drivers, do you push it here to keep trying to that experiment out? You talked about it here in stage number 2. Or do you head down pit road so you can stay out at that stage break at 80?
Well, I think the guys that were saving tires right there, they're going to push as hard as they can. Again, track position. You saw it kind of hurt Stephen Thomas, kind of hurt Newbert, but they're moving back forward. So if they've saved a little tire here, they're going to be able to drive right to the front. You see Blake might have went in, took him a little tires, maybe set him up for the next stage there.
as we'll stay live here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network on this special presentation, this championship race of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. We'll take a break at that stage break along with the drivers, guys, and it's an excellent race so far. We've seen non-championship drivers leading the way. Blake Lothian, Justin White in this two machine. And one thing I wanted to point out here tonight, guys, is that special decal on the top of the windshield of these trucks here. I mentioned it briefly here. Tonight is the last race of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series sponsorship, and all the drivers here tonight just want to send a big thank you to Triple M Pulling for being an excellent sponsor here these last 26 weeks.
Yeah, they've been an excellent sponsor for this series and done a lot of great things for this Triple M Pulling Truck Series. So that's really cool right there to see that right there. You don't really see that a lot in NASCAR racing. You may see some people saying thank you, for, maybe a company that they're, sponsoring, for just one car. But you don't usually see that for everybody doing that. So, they're very happy that Triple M was being the sponsor for this series, and that's awesome to see that right there, mate.
Well, can I say one thing? Since I am Triple M, I want to say thank you to all these guys that have stuck with us. I've been the title sponsor for all 6 seasons. I'm happy to we're growing. We're able to bring in new partners, and I'm looking to continue my help with the series as much as possible. But yeah, I'm so happy to see it grow to where other people want to take on the same responsibilities. And thank you to all the drivers, everybody in the chat, everybody that participates in this.
Yeah, and Michael, they couldn't have you enough, and I couldn't thank you enough for being an excellent sponsor here. And you just talked about you've been the title sponsor the last 6 seasons. What is this racing? You talked about it. Some of these guys race for the cash, some of them race for fun, some of them race to learn. What has the last 6 seasons meant for you as a title sponsor?
Well, for me, it's just watching the growth. As I said, it turned into a family affair. We bring guys in, some guys stay, some guys go, of course, but for the most part, if you can get through it, of course, there's going to be wrecks and you're going to have arguments, but all in all, these guys just continue to support us week after week after week because the competition is fierce. We all try to be clean. It doesn't work out that way sometimes, but it just means the world to me. When we started this, we had nobody to help us, and me and Brady and a few other guys, we just threw it in, and we wanted to make sure these guys had something to strive for, and I've been super happy to do it.
I'll say this, for the like I said earlier, for the short time that I have been here, y'all have put on a great deal right here. I mean, it's gained a lot of popularity. We got a lot of viewers out there watching us on multiple platforms. So it's awesome to see a community grow, especially like this series. So for the short time I've been here, I will say thank you, Michael, for all that you have done. Thank you to Brady for everybody that's involved that's able to make this happen.
All right, enough of the congratulating music, because here we go back to racing. What I've noticed, fellas, is the 4 of the 5 contenders here, they can't get away from each other. So this is going to be one fantastic finish to this championship.
And talking about Triple M Pulling, let's kick off the Triple M Pulling 225 once again. Let's get a conclusion to stage number 2 as Justin White in that grind truck will take us to the drop of the green flag. Now down into 1.
Justin White getting a good restart right here on the top lane. Basically from what he had in the first stage when he had that restart, that's exactly what that restart looked like. Side by side, right behind him, Chris Cinnamon. Keith Bradley up on the top lane. Bradley may have needed that caution because I'm telling you, he's starting to make some hay on this top lane. Cinnamon's still down on the bottom, and they better watch out. Here comes Adam Newbert, going to see if he can challenge with these guys.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about with the guys that were saving tires earlier in the stage. If they saved enough, they should be able to show what they've got right here.
Justin White still leading this race. Bradley running in the second position. Cinnamon having to fight off Adam Newbert the best that he possibly can. Newbert's going to get the run on the top lane. Cinnamon's going to be stuck down on the bottom lane. Newbert and Cinnamon battling it out for third. Cinnamon stuffs it in there. Newbert's going to see if he can get a run off 4.
Yeah, folks, if this is your first time listening along with us here on the NASDAQ 360 Racing Network, you might hear me going ooh and ah up here in the booth, and trust me, I am bobbing and weaving with these drivers, especially how tight they are now into 1 and 2. There goes Chris Simmons in the 3 to the inside. The 99, Devin Painter's going to try to throw that tail in front as well. Things are getting crazy down the backstretch as we're into 3 and 4.
And Newbert was able to get the run. Cinnamon not able to get a run. Painter did, but Newbert going to be able to clear these guys. Cinnamon tried to put a little bit of a block on Painter. Here comes Stephen Thomas out of nowhere. 3 wide right behind him.
Hold it.
Cart. And oh my goodness, almost had a big wreck right there. Blake Lothian, clean cart, and Raul Meza. Wow, that could have been devastating right here for this race.
Well, remember, I think Blake went and took tires, and he's wanting to make hay right now, and that got real close to catastrophe for Jacob Klinkart.
Yeah, Klinkart still in this championship hunt, but not out of it by a long shot. But you talked about it, Blake Lothian getting those tires. He's trying to make some hay up here as they're still trying to catch Justin White.
As Michael touched on it here, no stage points, no points at all. You can go ahead and toss that up or in the bin here tonight. Just matters if you finish in front of the next guy. And you can tell here tonight the ferocity these drivers are racing with, as right now Keith Bradley in the 29 goes to the inside of the 2, right into 3 and 4. Keith Bradley, you can tell, has been hungry here tonight. The animal wants to eat up that championship as we're side by side off of 4. We're also side by side for second down the front stretch into 1 and 2.
Bradley still seeing if he can make it work. Here comes Blake Lothian with those tires. Here comes Klinkart out of nowhere, was running around the 10th position. Now he's making something happen. Up here running in the 5th position. Real tight, 3 wide for the lead. Justin White up top, Bradley in the middle. Blake Lothian down on the bottom. Something's got to give as they go into turn 3, and it will be Bradley. He will slide back. Here comes Blake Lothian out of nowhere to lead this race.
And a real smart move from Keith there, but once again, he's going to be 3 wide going into 1. Oh, and Klinkart's going to back off. Whew, that was getting a little hairy for me right there.
Klinkart actually backed off, made a real smart move, real tight right here. Justin White looks like he may be on the back track going to the back. Bradley still trying to get something going. Klinkart really tight, almost getting into Keith Bradley. Actually, they almost make contact. Oh, really tight. Could not fit a piece of paper through both of them guys.
Oh, it's so airtight right here in the 3rd position as we cross the start-finish line, counting down the laps here in stage number 2. That yellow flag will wave as the leader crosses on lap 81 right now. Jacob Klinkart is going to get past Justin White in the 2, as right now Blake Lothian is going to separate down the backstretch into 3 and 4. The battles are raging on, though, inside the top 5 here with just 2 laps to go.
And one guy that we...
Third, boys.
Yeah, Jose Luis Rivera out of nowhere. We talked about him a while ago, struggling, trying to make it to the end of the stage. Now here he is, running 3rd. He has found something. Some of these guys we saw up front, Cinnamon, Bradley, and Newbert, they have been shuffled to the back. Now it's Jacob Klinkart showing some muscle. Jose Luis Rivera has got a shot in the arm. He's going to be in 3rd, all of them trying to catch Blake Lothian, but this field has went topsy-turvy.
Yeah, this has all the telltales that those guys pitted and we missed it. They're trying to flip a little track position here. I do not know how many sets of tires they had laying in the pit box, but if it's only 1 left, they're in trouble. If they've got 2, this could really pay dividends later on.
As stage 2 comes to an end here in the Triple M pulling 225, stage 2 will belong to a non-championship driver. That's Blake Lothian in that 43 racing out of Wellesley, Massachusetts. Been very hot here as of late. Second place in that stage will go to a championship driver, though, the 5 machine of Jacob Klinkart. 3rd position in that stage is the 20 machine, Jose Luis Rivera. You guys talked about it, came raging up through that grid. 4th position in that stage, Justin White in that 2. 5th position's the animal. We saw that gutsy move he tried to pull off. Cost him a little bit, though, at the end of that stage. Going to finish 5th. 6th in that stage, the money man, the 4 of Adam Newbert. 7th in that stage is the 3 of Chris Cinnamon. 8th in that stage is the 23 of Stephen Thomas. 9th in that stage is the 99 of Devin Painter. And top 10 in that stage is the 82 of Adam Newton. And guys, we're going to step aside for just a moment here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We'll be right back to crown a champion here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Welcome back, everybody, here to the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Just saw the conclusion of stage number 2 that was won by the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. Here tonight, myself, William Tiller, I have Jacob Reeves up here in the booth. Of course, Michael McKinnon, usually the driver of the number 13 machine, and Adam Flieger is our wonderful producer here, providing all those sights and sounds of this season finale race here in the Queen City. But guys, we are now joined by a special guest here, actually calling into the booth here, the boss man himself, Brady LaBeouf. Stage is yours, my man.
Yeah, how's it going tonight, guys? It looks like we got a really, really good race going for championship night, and hopefully this finish is going to be just as exciting as the first.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt it's going to be real exciting, Brady. These guys can't get away from each other. This kind of reminds me of the year you won your championship. It's just going to be nose to tail right to the end.
As right now we're joined by Brady LaBeouf, the boss man here, and as mentioned, he's calling in here, so we might have some breakup on the connection, but I'm sure this season means a lot to you. And Brady, we've had non-championship drivers win these stages. What are you looking out for here, as we only have looking at just about 70 laps to go here in this season?
Yeah, sorry about that. I was having some technical difficulties. I'm on my cell phone, but no, man. I mean, look, all these 6 drivers. You know, we do this for 25 weeks, like you and I were talking about earlier, Will. You know, it's a long season. There's only 2 seasons in the year, so you know, we're going to be taking a week off and getting back to season 7. And you know, these 6 drivers, you know, Keith, Chris, Steven, Adam, Jose, Jacob, you know, they just got to, you know, continue to fight, be there at the end, and, you know, may the best man win.
Yeah,
right now, what?
Go ahead, Will.
Just about to say, as we're getting this race about to get kicked off once again, and guys, we're joined by the boss man here in the booth. And I know, Michael, you were talking about how much it meant to be a sponsor here in this series. Anything for the boss man as he's joining us?
Oh, just thank you for everything he's done for the league. You know, me and him had a dream back in the day, and it's right here in front of everybody. And all I can say is I appreciate it. I'm sure he appreciates it all, but it is wonderful to see it grow. You know what I'm saying? It's going to grow, it's going to move forward, and that's what this was all about. Might have that connection issue again as we're getting ready to go green.
As the pace lights.
Well, I'm sorry, Will, but one thing I did want to say right here, look who's actually leading this race. Christopher Blanchard, out of nowhere. He may have not pitted on the, well, obviously he didn't pit on that last caution right there. So this is going to be kind of big right here. You got a bunch of playoff guys up here. You got Blake Lothian that just came out of nowhere in that last stage. Justin White, all these other guys up front, and now Christopher Blanchard up here on older tires. So we're going to see what happens. Green flag in the air. Blanchard's going to see if he can make a little bit of a jump right here. Clinkart's going to be right up his tailgate. Lothian's going to see if he can slide back just a little bit, maybe slide down to the bottom. He's not going to be able to do it. Jose Luis Rivera going to stuff it in there. Here comes Clinkart to the top. Maybe 3 wide going into turn number 3. Blanchard's going to hold that at bay, and now it's going to be 2 by 2. It's going to be Blanchard on the bottom, Clinkart up top, Lothian up top, and Jose Luis Rivera down on the bottom.
What is happening right here? Only 1 lap into this restart here in the conclusion. We're officially into the championship rounds of the Triple M, pulling 225 right now. And guys, you can tell right there between those moves, drivers wasting no time going door to door as we're off a 2 down the backstretch.
Clinkart got around him and was able to make it work. And Clinkart's going to be able to try to pull away. Blanchard's actually holding up everybody on those older tires. Justin White fixing to run him over. Everybody trying to catch Clinkart.
Yeah, and the give and take's over, everybody. It is time to go right now, and you're going to start seeing it, Russ. Look at this. We could possibly be 4 lines. Oh, Keith with a great save. And Stephen Thomas is around.
Stephen Thomas is around here tonight. Caution flag is out. Sorry about that, Jacob. That is breaking news here. Huck Whittington in the 00. 96 right there. James D. Morris as well. And there it is, folks, here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Jacob, that's our first championship driver with damage.
Wow. That is unfortunate to see the defending champion at that. Stephen Thomas, as we looked at it right there on the replay, looked like everybody kind of checked up. Everybody's still trying to get around Christopher Blanchard, the one guy that stayed out on those older tires. And then from there on, everybody checked up. Cinnamon was up there. He looked like he slid a little bit. Newbert jumped to the bottom. Stephen Thomas just kind of got stuck where he was at, and Huck Wigington just came out of nowhere and just plowed right into the back end.
Yeah, we see Ashley Dodson. It's a perfect scene. This is what I wanted to see. Checkup, thought he was clear and was not. And then Steven with a huge hit to the front end. He's going to have a lot of trouble trying to keep pace from here.
Yeah, that's my apologies. It wasn't Huck Wigington. It was Ashley Dodson. But, I mean, that's what happens right there when you've got some guys, that stay out on those older tires. It stacks the whole field up. I mean, it makes some great racing. It made some great racing right there on that 1 lap that they had. But in the end, those older tires is not going to be able to prevail over those newer tires, and that's exactly what that was, or what the cause of that was. And Stephen Thomas was just an innocent bystander with all of that going on, and he looks like he's in the pits for a good bit. He's actually going to go down a lap right here, guys. I hate to say it, but that may have hurt his championship chances right there.
Yeah, let's take a look at those championship standings heading into this championship race here, the season finale of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. And Stephen Thomas was one of those favorites coming in. Guys, you talked about it as the defending champion, if you will. May have been overshadowed this season by the likes of Joey Doucette, Adam Newbert, those names. Coming in, though, the 23 machine had to have been a fan favorite out there. As you mentioned, Jacob, going to be a tough hill to climb. If anything, Michael, if it is the end of the road for the 23, gotta feel good, though, to finish top 6.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I'm doubting that Steven's going to feel good about that at all. I don't know exactly what happened in front. We saw Newbert take evasive action. Like you said, Jacob, Steven just stuck in the middle there. Ashley thought he had a run on the top and was fine. Just too close for comfort there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of net code may have played into that just a little bit. I mean, we talked about the net code deal on it, but still, I mean, Thomas was in a bad spot. He really couldn't get out of that spot. I mean, his only option was to check up because Cinnamon and Newbert slid a little bit coming out of the quad oval. And so Thomas just had to check up, and then Dodson was there. I mean, it's like I talked about. I mean, granted, it is what it is. It's tight racing. It's here at Charlotte. And we talked about this a while ago. Those first two stages, they didn't have a lot of cautions, but right now we're getting down basically to the pay window right here, coming to 60 laps to go in this race. So we still got a lot of time left, but that intensity's starting to ramp up. And Michael, you know about this. You have raced with these guys, obviously. You know that intensity's starting to ramp up. The blood's starting to get flowing. That heart's starting to pump. You know what is coming. You know that these guys are running for a championship. You know what's up. So that's why I think a lot of this is going on.
Well, that's exactly right. It's time to go. I'm sorry. We got to get our positioning. If we get a late caution, we got to be toward the front. The give and take's gone. You're not going to see it anymore. You're going to see a lot more aggressive moves, and the patience is out the window at this point.
I mean, you can't really blame these guys neither. I mean, it's like, Will and, yourself and Brady, everybody's been sitting there talking. These guys have been running for, over 20 weeks trying to get to this point to win a championship. So, if you let up, the other guy, he's just going to take it from you. So you gotta be aggressive. You got to have some aggressive driving. You got to be pulling a little bit of defensive driving at certain times. So, I mean, it's like you said, it's time to go. It's no time to sit there and just lollygag around and play around with it. You got to go. So, I mean, that's what we're seeing, a lot of aggressive driving right here, and a lot of aggressive moves, a lot of aggressive actions, with Christopher Blanchard staying out right there on them old tires. So, I'm sure this isn't the last time we've seen this, but I really hope, these championship drivers will be able to get it straightened out, and they'll be able to come home clean.
As right now we're still under caution as our first championship driver has damage here in the season finale. Stephen Thomas in the 23 truck. We apologize to all those fans out there of the 23 truck still down pit road. That's Stephen Thomas racing out of Elkview, West Virginia, racing for Swim Motorsports. Still has a few more contenders in the championship hunt. As right now the pace truck leads us into 3 and 4. Pace lights are off here, guys. We're going to be looking at around 60 or so laps to go to crown a champion here in the Queen City. Cannot wait for this restart. And guys, look who is going to take us to the drop of the green flag. Jacob Klinkart in the 5.
Yeah, Klinkart actually came out of nowhere. Like we said earlier, he finished around 10th in that first stage. Come out of nowhere in that second stage, and that's what's put him right here in this particular spot. But here we go. Green flag in the air. Klinkart going to see if he can get the jump right here. Blake Lothian's actually going to stay right on his left rear. And Blake Lothian's going to see if he can take it side by side. He will take it side by side. Lothian's going to stuff it down in there. Lothian's actually going to take the lead. Klinkart back to second. And from there on out, it is side-by-side racing all the way back. Jose Luis Rivera able to get up in the 3rd position. Keith Bradley running in the 4th, battling with Justin Thomas.
Yeah, you got Justin White there on the outside of Keith Bradley. I mean, this may actually help Jacob. He didn't have to fight too long. He may be able to run his line a little bit, save a little bit of tires, but we got door banging all over the place, and Keith Bradley about got bit by it.
And I know I said Justin Thomas, I meant Justin White. There's so much action going on all over the track, but Bradley almost lost it right there. Everybody still trying to catch Blake Lothian. Klinkart right up his tailgate. Jose Luis Rivera trying to get up Klinkart's tailgate. Justin White right behind all these guys watching it go on.
Here tonight on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, as we cross the line down to corners 1 and 2, you can tell how cagey these drivers are. Everybody trying to stick those Goodyear Eagles to the inside lane, making sure nobody can stick their nose to the inside, making those passes as hard as they possibly can. Right now, as Jacob Klinkart will try one of those hard passes, he'll go to the outside of Blake Lothian to 3 and 4. We have more passes going on back here as Keith Bradley is now under fire from Chris Cinnamon. A lot of rage on down the front stretch.
And it looks like Lothian's still going to be able to hold ground. Klinkart still trying to see if he can find a way around him. Bradley trying to get away from Cinnamon. He's going to be on the outside of Justin White. Michael talked about it with some of these guys with that rubber getting up there on that top lane. They're going to be able to maneuver and not be able to burn their tires up as bad. Bradley's going to use the top lane try to get around Justin White. Jose Luis Rivera stuck right in the middle of all of this battle and running right in third.
And it's helping Jose right here. He's seeing these guys fight behind. He's able to find a little pocket to run in, and it's going to help him. The longer they fight, he's going to be able to keep that air on his nose a little bit and run his line, and it's going to save him a little bit in the long run. As you see, Bradley, I think he might actually pull the pass off on White this time.
He did. Justin White got a little bit loose right there off of turn 2. Newbert's going to see if he can stuff it up high. See if he can ride that Kyle Larson line that I was talking about. He will not be able to make that pass. Justin White's going to be able to clear him, or maybe not. Newbert may have a shot at him.
And what's going to be the easiest race to call up here in the booth this season. We don't have to worry about points. We don't have to worry about lap times. We don't have to worry about who has a gap, as this race has been airtight all night long as we have a battle for the lead right now down the backstretch. Jacob Plinkart in the 5. Blake Lothian in the 43. They almost make contact on the entry at 3 and 4. Jose Luis Rivera will watch this from courtside point of view as they're off of 4 drag racing here at Charlotte.
And Jose Luis Rivera needed all of that to go on. He was waiting on these guys to get battling, start burning those tires up, not be able to run the line that they want. Blake Lothian almost getting into Clinkart pinching him down onto the line. And Jose Luis Rivera backs off just a little bit, sees all this hard racing going on for the lead. He don't want to put himself in a really bad spot, but I'm telling you, Lothian does not want to give that lead up. Clinkart trying to get it, though.
Yeah, and Jose needs to have a little patience here. Yes, he's got Bradley coming, but stay patient. Somebody's going to give at some point, and then follow the leader. He's just little patience right here.
Lothian still trying to keep it on the bottom. He's actually going to pull the slide job right now on Clinkart. So put Lothian up to first place. Clinkart back to second. Jose Luis Rivera still holding tight right there in third spot. Bradley, you talked about him, starting to close in just a little bit on Jose Luis Rivera. Looks like it's actually a 4-truck breakaway starting to right here at the front.
Yeah, 4 trucks starting to separate right now. Jose Luis Rivera said, I want to lead this train, separating from everybody else. He goes to the inside of Jacob Clinkart here. Clinkart's going to hold strong on the top side, though, as Jose Luis Rivera, though, is going to get a little slippery. Going to hit the apron there as we're down the backstretch. Going to open the door for the 29 of Keith Bradley to go to the inside. Here are 101 laps into this race. We're off of 4 as Blake Lothian is still leading the way.
Yeah, and that was real close to a big mistake. You hook that bottom too much, you get extremely loose. So very good save there by Jose, and to be able to hold a little bit of track position out of it.
Yeah, he's not really wanting to give that up. Keith Bradley real tight on his door, trying to see if he can get a run right here. Bradley's going to be able to clear him just by inches. Barely clears Jose Luis Rivera. So put the animal up to third, right up the back bumper of Jacob Clinkart. Jose Luis Rivera better watch his tailgate. Now here comes Justin White and Adam Newbert trying to make a run.
Justin White knock on the door, the inside of Jose Luis Rivera, one of those championship drivers who jump up just one position as Keith Bradley and Jacob Clinkart now battling it out right now, right behind the back bumper of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. All of this battling might push the 5 to the front right now. Is going to watch on board with the 5 truck of Jacob Clinkart, currently in the second position. No wins on the season. No better race to win than the last one that only put a 1 in that victory column, but also crown you the season champion as we're down the front stretch, down to 1.
Clinkart still trying to find a way around Blake Lothian. He better watch his tailgate. Here comes the animal. Keith Bradley making it work on the top lane. Going to be able to get around Clinkart. May have something to say for Lothian. Here comes Jose Luis Rivera out of nowhere. Makes the top lane work. He's going to see if he can get around Clinkart. But watch up front. Here comes Keith Bradley, the animal in this series. He is showing why he is the animal, digging and hungry for that lead.
Yeah, and you see he's varied his line the last couple times. He lift early a couple times, get the big run, and then he drive it way in on the top side like he's going to do right here and see if he can get some clean air on the nose. If he can get this completed, he may drive off in the sunset pretty quick.
And that's what we've been talking about, the bridesmaid, I guess you could say, of this Triple M Pulling Truck Series, Keith Bradley, not been able to close it out. He may have found a way to do it tonight. Keith Bradley holding bay right here for the lead on Blake Lothian.
As you watch this battle, side-by-side battle, you also watch that battle for second raging on. Justin White right there, Jose Luis Rivera in that shot as they're still side-by-side in the corner. Guys, they keep going door to door, making me extremely nervous up here in the booth as we're off of 2 down the backstretch. We're drag racing once again. These drag races we've seen here tonight belong at the Z-Max drag strip just outside of this racetrack as we're still drag racing off of 4.
And I think the best truck on the track is probably the 2 of Justin White. He may end up being able to figure out how to win this race. But when it comes to this championship battle, these guys are extremely close, extremely fast. As you see Newbert making a move on Jose, and I think he's going to get it done this time. We'll see what this clean air does to him, see if he can vary his line a little bit, see if he can get away.
You talked about Justin White, talked about him. He was one of those big players that was in the first stage. See if he's going to be able to make a run to some of these guys up front. But up front, it is Keith Bradley, Blake Lothian, Justin White, Jose Luis Rivera, and Adam Newbert going to be in 5th.
As battle for second rages on down into corners 1 and 2. Justin White's going to look to the inside of Blake Lothian. Michael, you just touched on it. The 2 machine's been a man on fire here tonight as we're off at 2.
Looks like just go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, for the championship here, right now, Newbert looks the strongest. Now, keep in mind, we should have a live green pit stop if we don't get a caution. That could shake everything up, but Newbert looks extremely strong at this point.
Looks like Lothian's going to see if he can get something going. Newbert was able to get past him, so look like Lothian may have burnt his tires up just a little bit. Justin White all the way up to 2nd, Newbert in 3rd. White's not going to play with these guys. He knows that these guys are in that championship hunt, but I talked about it earlier. He wants to play spoiler. He wants to be able to get up here and get something going, be able to get him a win. But he's going to have to go through the animal and the money man stuck right between both of them.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard climb for him, but like I said, his truck seems to be the most stable tonight. It looks like the setup's great for him. Yeah, here you see the move going to the inside, and here comes Newbert. He looks extremely strong at this point.
And you got to think about it, Michael. I mean, honestly, you know, from a driver's standpoint, I want to ask you this. You know, granted, you got Justin White up there trying to play spoiler for these guys, battling for this lead, you know, to win the race. But if you're Adam Newbert, if you're Keith Bradley, are you worried about Justin White, or are you just worried about the other 5 guys that you're trying to race for this championship? I mean, obviously, I think the obvious answer would be to worry about the other 5, but I mean, you got a carrot dangling in front of you for that win. I mean, you know, what do you think? I mean, you're the driver.
No, I wouldn't care what Justin does. If he wins by 16 seconds and I win a championship, I am one happy dude, right? That's all I care about at this point. I don't care if he drives and laps me. If I finish ahead of the other boys, I am one happy man. Here comes Cinnamon making the first undercut move.
That's something that we're really going to see. Some of these guys making that undercut move. Like you said, Cinnamon going in, maybe get some fresher tires, see if he can try to leapfrog some of these other guys. The rest of the guys look like they're staying out. Raul Meza was one of those guys that also went in with Cinnamon. We'll see if anybody else saw that right there, saw what Cinnamon did. See if any of these other front guys decide to take a shot to try to go down pit road.
Yeah, as we see these pit stops now taking place, these green flag pit stops, if you will, these waves of pit stops will happen. And guys, what I mean by that, you'll see wave number 1, wave 2, wave 3. Most of the championship drivers, I would assume, will be in that second wave, possibly even that third wave here tonight. Michael, do you see any of those drivers gambling, or do you expect all 6 drivers to stick to the same plan?
Well, I think Cinnamon already pulled his chips. He gambled, and he did it one other time and won a championship at Homestead. He stayed out longer then and was able to run the guys down. Here, I don't think he feels as confident. He's going to take this undercut, see if he can get the track position back, maybe hope for a caution later on.
And there's one guy that's actually slid back a little bit who was up front battling for this lead. That was Jacob Klinkart. Slid all the way back to the 8th position. Jose Luis Rivera all the way back to 7th as well. Everybody still trying to run down Justin White, Keith Bradley, Adam Newbert. That is the 2 front runners in this championship.
This race rage is on off of 4 right there. You see Chris Blanchard in the 9 machine with Jacob Klinkart. Jacob Klinkart just inside of the top 10. Very strong here tonight. Chris Blanchard, Jacob Plinkart still side by side. 115 laps into this race here tonight. This is the season finale, the championship race of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series as we're into 3 and 4. Very calm right now, guys. It's the calm before the storm. Things I expect to get very loud here in the Queen City.
Yeah, as these green flag pit stops come, we'll see if it gets spread out or if they all do their job. Like I said, Cinnamon, he's probably making up a good second per lap right now. So the longer these guys stay, he's going to make up some ground. But of course, it will cost him in the long run later on if we don't get a caution.
Yeah, you were right on that, Michael. I mean, it is going to cost him in the long run. It's going to help him a little bit, like you said, making up about a second a lap on these guys. I'm sitting here looking Adam Newbert this lap. We'll check and see kind of what the lap times we're looking at right here. Looks like Adam Newbert comes across the line, runs a 32.1, and Cinnamon right here actually goes across the line right now, run a 30.6. So you're looking at almost 2 seconds, and that's just the Adam Newbert from Chris Cinnamon that pitted. So he's making up 2 seconds a lap. Basically, you called it second and a half, 2 seconds. You know, that's a pretty big game, but like you said, it's going to hurt him in the long run.
Yeah, it's just hard for these guys up front right now to make a decision, right? It's, man, I'm exactly where I want to be. Do I want to pull the trigger now or try to have the better tires toward the end? And I think they're just kind of all made their bed. I'm going to look for them in the next 2-3 laps, and then we'll see what they've got at the end.
I'll say this, they are racing it out for second right now. Keith Bradley has got a wake-up call, and it is the money man, Adam Newbert, putting the alarm clock on his tailgate, letting him know he is there. Bradley was almost had Newbert all the way up his tailgate, but now Newbert starts to slide back just a little bit.
And guys, I'm on the edge of my seat here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network broadcast booth. I know that these drivers are on an ultra high anxiety level behind the cockpit of these trucks here. As guys, we only have 30 laps to go here this season as we're into 3 and 4. We talked about it. We're waiting these leaders to head down pit road here in these green flag pit stops. And boys, I cannot wait for them to come off of pit road. Oh, window though. Caution flag is out here at the Queen City.
Oh my goodness. That just maybe have hurt Chris Cinnamon right there for his chances in this championship. He did not need to see that caution. He wanted that to run out the best that he could. But here's the thing. He may be able to get lucky, get this lucky dog. Looks like he's actually going to get the lucky dog, so he may be able to make it work. But how many tires? I mean, how many sets of tires does he get? We'll have to see on that. So
yeah, he should have one more, but the problem with that is he's going to have to start at the back. And Adam Flieger, if we could flip the chat to the YouTube instead of multi, I'd like to see what everybody in the chat has to say about that. You see,
and we'll have to see exactly what brought out that caution there. See what the incident was to show the folks at home what brought a pause in the action here in the Triple M Pulling 225 season finale here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. A late race caution, guys. We're expecting green flag pit stops. It looks like we're going to have a lot of the field head down. You talked about what that's going to do to Chris Cinnamon. You see it right there. That's Jose Luis Rivera, guys.
Yeah, that's going to might be a time ender for him right there. This might be the same. I think I'm here and I'm not.
And Jacob, we're going to watch the replay here. For the folks at home, that's going to be another championship driver with heavy damage on that right side.
It looked like, honestly, once again, I mean, I know we've talked about it, and I know we sound like broken records when we're saying it, but it looked like netcode. I mean, granted, they were tight. Looked like Jose wanted to slide up just a little bit to be able to try to put that block right there on Ashley Dodson. But I mean, you show it right there. It looked like it looked like they barely even touched, and it just sent Jose around. So, I mean, it's unfortunate we keep seeing the same things happen with this netcode issue. We've seen it a bunch. Already seen it one time where it took out Zach Hardwick. I believe he was one of those guys that got into it. Raul Meza, just the netcode. I mean, it happens, but it's unfortunate to see it right here, especially in a championship race where everything matters. So, I mean, granted, like I said, Jose maybe wanted to come up in front of him a little bit, maybe not, but it was very tight. But I did see air in between them.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler Dittmer in the chat there. That's just the computer thought they were going to make contact, so it just sucked them together right there. Now, I mean, Ashley's an aggressive driver, but he's not that aggressive to take out two championship guys. I think we've seen it twice now.
And guys, as we're under caution here in the Triple M pulling 225, we'll bring the boss man back up here in the booth. We got him now here, and Brady, we're checking out this race here. That's two championship drivers that are now, I don't want to say eliminated, that's a bad word to say, but their championship hopes have definitely gotten a harder, to say the least. And Brady, again, we want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity all season long. And man, it's been one heck of a race, and there's no better way to cap off a season.
Yeah, I apologized for that earlier. Like I said, I'm on my cell phone, and my phone was trying to connect to my truck, so apologies for that. But like I was saying earlier, these six guys, we've been racing for this season over 25 weeks, and at 25 weeks if you include the Clash, Speed Weeks, and All-Star Race. So it's a grueling season, and whenever I first came on, we saw that caution with Stephen Thomas, and then now with Jose getting caught up in that one. But that's part of this. It's not just, you don't just put six guys on the track and say, have at it, boys. You continue to run the fields that the guys, there's other things to fight for that guys are fighting for. We give out, we pay out to the top 10, so 7th place is a big deal all the way to 10th. They got another playoff system where guys, fighting for 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So a lot of things that are still going on that, people may not be aware of. So it is about the six guys tonight, but it's not entirely about just those six guys during this race.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem you get. I mean, it is what it is. It's racing. I don't think anything was intentional either time there. It's unfortunate. You worked your way up. You had good track position, but it's racing. It's not a perfect sport, and things do happen.
I will say this, guys. One thing to keep an eye on right here, our leader, Christopher Blanchard. He was one of those guys that stayed out after that second stage caution. Here he is back at the front. Justin White's going to be to his inside. Blanchard's going to take the top, so he didn't pit with everybody else. I don't know really what kind of strategy he's looking at right here, but he's going to have some hungry people. One of them being the animal Keith Bradley, who's going to be right behind Justin White. So we're going to see if what's going to happen right here on this restart, but very curious to see what happens with Christopher Blanchard staying out.
Absolutely. What an interesting restart it is. Chris Blanchard will take us to the drop of the green flag. Justin White right there as well. Here we go. Green flag is in the air once again as the championship race rages out into 1 and 2.
Blanchard's going to run the top. Newbert's going to be right up his tailgate. It's actually going to slow Newbert down. Newbert almost gets into him. That's going to let the inside lane completely pull away Justin White. Keith Bradley going to be able to sneak by very, very quickly. Blanchard's going to be dropping back like a rock on the top lane. Everybody's seeing if they can try to find a way around him, as everybody's trying to see if they can get a way around him. But right now, Justin White leading this thing.
Well, one good thing, it doesn't look like Jose has got any engine damage. He's able to work his way back up there with Jacob. We'll see if he's able to keep pace. But, yeah, that's a little unfortunate on the beginning there, as you got the championship guys stacked up a little bit. But I don't think it's going to affect much of the outcome here.
And you talked about Jose Luis Rivera not having that much engine damage, staying with everybody, trying to make it work, trying to get back up there, get some more of that track position working. But right now, they're chasing Justin White. And right now, the guy that's in front for these points and the championship is Keith Bradley.
Jose Luis Rivera is trying to be like Taylor Swift, just trying to shake it off right now as he's inside of the top 10, trying to snag that championship. As right now, Adam Newbert is looking in his rear view mirror, sees the 99 of Devin Painter, and also Blake Lothar in the 43 truck as we're single file 1, 2, 3 into 3 and 4.
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing here from these front two guys. They're trying to stay in line. They're not really pushing this issue hard. Of course, that's letting Clinkhart and Rivera come back into the picture. Now the thing with them is they're going too hard, too quick. They're just going to try to find a hole right behind Lothian and see if they can follow him through.
Newbert's still trying to find a way around Bradley. Bradley got a little loose right there off turn 2, slid up in front of him. Newbert trying to find a way around him. Here comes Lothian. Here comes Painter. Painter's still stuck on the top lane. Lothian, we've seen the speed that this man's got. He's trying to get up front and spoil this party.
23 laps to crown a champion here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. After a long, grueling season, one driver here tonight will accomplish history. They'll have their name in the record books here tonight. Guys, been an incredible race as things have just raged on. As right now, Keith Bradley is in the catbird seat looking as the championship driver who could win it all off a fool.
Yeah, I mean, Clinkhart just sent it in right there. Let's see if that hurts him in the long run here, but 23 laps to go. No more time to go. Save here. We got to go. Let's just take what we got. Painter just having a heck of a time trying to get down. If he is trying to get down, that's the key.
Intensity starting to ramp up. The blood starting to flow. The heart's starting to pump. Everybody trying to get something going. Here comes Newbert. Newbert says time is now. Stuffs it on the inside of Keith Bradley. Bradley really tight on Newbert. Bradley, we talked about him, the bridesmaid in this series, not been able to close it out, but he's got to fight off Adam Newbert. We'll see what he can do as we got a caution that's on the Speedway.
Caution flag is out. Looked like I did see a truck pull out of line on the front stretch. And guys, I was getting very nervous what we were seeing between the 4 of Adam Newbert and the 29 of Keith Bradley. Not nervous because I was afraid of what was going to happen. I'm nervous because I know they both won it. But let's check out what brought out this caution flag here tonight on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network.
It was Jose Luis Rivera, guys, believe it or not. Making a really good run up through the field, had Adam Newton to his outside coming off of turn number 4, just pushed up just ever so slightly and got into Adam Newton, and then it was straight into the wall for Jose Luis Rivera. I don't know how many more hits he can take. He got lucky off of that last one with that little bit of net code and that little bit that him and Ashley Dodson got into, but that one hit that he got right there, oh man, I'm telling you, that may have hurt him a little bit. As you see right here on your screen, he's battling really hard with Adam Newton still stuck down there on the bottom lane. You're going to watch him right here as he's going to send it right here in turn 3. Try to see if he can make it stick, maybe be able to slide up just a little bit. And then from there on, it was not able to happen. Bam, Jose Luis Rivera straight into the fence. I mean, it's just a racing incident right there. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we've talked about it. These guys pushing up, trying to get clear. I think he just pushed just a little bit too hard and just wasn't able to make it stick.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me as well. Just sending it in, trying to get it clear, and you start chasing it up the track, you're in trouble if you're just staying in it. So we saw it, and it's a shame for both of them, especially with Adam Newton as well. Great run. We'll see if it hurts him in the long run here.
As things get sorted here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, a couple drivers will head down pit road here. Looks like drivers with some damage. Keith Bradley is actually going to head down pit road there in that 29 machine. We'll take our last break of the evening. We'll be right back for the conclusion not only of the Triple M Pulling 225, but we'll be back to crown a season champion in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Welcome back, everybody, to the Queen City and the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Here tonight, we're going to crown that season champion here. We've had some contenders, some movers and shakers. We've talked about off air about how exciting this race has been with our final six. My name has been William Tiller. I'm joined by Jacob Reeves, Michael McKinnon, Adam Flieger as our producer here tonight. And guys, we're going to have about 20 laps to go here to crown a champion. We look at those point standings right now. Unfortunately for the likes of the 23 machine of Stephen Thomas and the 20 machine of Jose Luis Rivera, their championships have been dashed here tonight. For those four other drivers, though, guys, it's really up in the air. Anybody's championship to snap.
Oh, it's anybody's championship, but what I'm looking at here, while we were at break, and we saw it right before we went, looked like Keith Bradley, Cinnamon both came to take their last set of tires, and they're able to restart in 5th and 7th. This is going to get interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but you just talked about it. They took their last set of tires right there, Michael. I mean, if this sucker goes green all the way to the end, they're going to be in prime spot to be able to take hold and possibly even win this race, but more importantly, be at the front of these other six and have a shot to go for a championship. But here's what's going to happen. I mean, just saying, hypothetically, let's just see what, say we get to 3 to go. Well, they've already burnt their tires. I mean, they've already burnt that set. Some of these guys up here, Newbert and Clinkhart, they haven't got those set, so then they'll have something on that restart. I think they're banking on this sucker running green all the way to the end, and that's what they're hoping for right now. I'm sure Newbert and them probably waiting on a caution with about 3 to go. If I was them, I mean, that's what I would be thinking.
Well, if we remember right, Clinkhart took a set of tires before the end of stage 2. Then he took a set at the stage, and I think he pitted on the last caution before this, so he may be out of tires. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays. Newbert may actually have a set laying in the pits.
In what could be the final restart of the Triple M Pulling Truck Series, Justin White, Adam Newbert, Blake Lothian, Jacob Clinkhart, Keith Bradley, Devin Painter, Chris Cinnamon, Ashley Dotson, Chris Blanchard, and Adam Newton will take us to the drop of the green flag. Here it goes, folks. The green flag is waving. Justin White's been very strong. Let's see if he can close it out as he'll take the field in the corner number 1.
It's a pretty good jump. Justin White on the bottom. Adam Newbert up top. Lothian going to see if he can follow down on the bottom. He will not. Newbert's going to try to close the door, but watch out on that top lane with those fresh tires. Here comes the animal, Keith Bradley, going to make a run. He's going to get around Lothian. He may try to get down to the bottom. No, he doesn't. Newbert jumps down to the bottom, blocks that advance. Bradley's going to have to make it work on the top lane.
Yeah, big move for Newbert there, but it's also a strategic move. Block both lanes, hold the animal back, see if he can burn up, try to equalize some tires. But I think if he gets to either one of these guys outside, it is game over.
And watch out for Clinkhart back here running in the 5th position, right behind Keith Bradley, trying to run the bottom. Bradley's going to get down into Lothian, gets into his door. Bradley trying to get these guys trying to get clear of these guys the best that he possibly can, knowing he's got the fresher tires. White goes to the top. Newbert's still down on the bottom. Bradley still trying to get something going.
Whoa, and what was a blind move, the 29 machine of Keith Bradley throws that tail in front of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian, still 2x2 into the corner. There goes Blake Lothian. Thought about making a move for the lead into the corner. No, he'll fall right behind the money man himself as the animal. The money man leads us down the straightaway right now. We check back in the 2x2 battle raging on for the top 5 or 3. My goodness, Blake Lothian makes contact with the topside wall. 3 wide off of 4 again. Oh my goodness, guys, things are getting crazy.
Cinnamon down on the bottom. Clinkhart stuck straight in the middle. Dodson trying to give them all the room he can. They get into it and get to bumping and banging. But up front, Bradley has took over the lead from Adam Newbert. Fresh tires to the front of the field. Bradley, Newbert, Justin White, Devin Painter, Chris Cinnamon trying to find a way to get up here. He's got those fresh tires. He wants to get past some of these guys. He wants to get to Keith Bradley to win this championship.
And Devin Painter also came down and got fresh tires. He's going to either help or hinder Chris Cinnamon. Looks like he might be holding him back just a bit right now. So we'll see what Chris can do if he can ever get past Devin.
and he's going to get around Justin White. He's going to move it up to fourth. Bradley still trying to hang on for these last 12 laps, see if he can hold Adam Newbert off. Not really worried about Devin Painter, but those other guys that's right behind him. Adam Newbert, he's worried about Chris Cinnamon. He's worried about Jacob Klinkhardt. Bradley still leading them as they go across the line. 11 laps to go as they go into turn number 1.
As Alabama shakes one set, all you have to do is hold on. As right now, Keith Bradley's trying to hold on to the lead as he's off of to Jacob Klinkhardt, though. We saw him make a move to the inside of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian. Don't count out the rest of the field right now as we're starting to see a little bit of separation, though. Keith Bradley is going to take us off of 4. Going to make it 10 laps to go here on the front stretch.
Ooh, a little wiggle out of Painter there, but not much he can do. That corner comes up real quick. Big run from Cinnamon. Just nowhere to go right now. Can't make use of those newer tires if he can't find a lane to make it work.
And he's going to make it work, though. He's going to push it 3 wide all the way down to the blue line. 3 wide for second. Newbert stuck in the middle. Painter up top. Cinnamon gets in there. Newbert gets a little bit loose. Cinnamon's going to stuff it in on the inside. Painter will get the run on the top. Newbert starting to backtrack as they're all trying to chase Keith Bradley.
Ladies and gentlemen, just hang on to your seats here. You got one more guy to clear, and then we're going to see what he's got for Keith Bradley. If he can get around Devin, oh, he got a little loose. Hooked the apron a little bit there. That's going to hurt him.
Newbert's going to go ahead. Go ahead, Will.
I was going to say 3 wide doesn't work here at Charlotte. We've seen it time and time again here in this race. 9 laps to go. You saw right there Jacob Adam Newbert thought to the inside of the 3 of Chris Cinnamon. All of that battle and raging on for these podium spots. They still have to get up to the end 129 as he leads us in the 1 and 2.
And Bradley using those fresh tires to his advantage, checking out from this field, running away with it. 8 laps to go. Painter, you talked about it. He's one of those guys that took tires. Cinnamon tried to take tires as well. Every single one of these guys checking out. Newbert starting to slide on back just a little bit. Everybody trying to catch Keith Bradley. Bradley, if he can hold on, he may be able to break that curse and be able to win the championship.
Yeah, he's looking real strong right now. If this thing stays the way it is and they're all spread out.
20.
Don't see the slider moving there. We're back. How about it, everybody? Keith Bradley for the win. Sorry for the technical difficulties right there, but what a great battle, Jacob. And well deserved for Keith right there. Big call with the pit stop, and he's able to pull it off.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Burning it down right here for the fans. Keith Bradley from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, burning it down, still burning it down. If there was any tires left on those fresh tires, he is going to use every bit of them tires here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Once again, Keith Bradley, the race winner of the Triple M Pulling 225, the champion in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. This is a big deal right here for him. Like we said, the bridesmaid is no more.
And with that, everybody, we will take our final break of the season, and we'll come back and give you the perspective from the drivers. See how they felt it played out tonight. To me, it was one crazy race. But we'll be right back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Queen City here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. We just saw the conclusion of what was a remarkable season, a remarkable race. We crowned a champion of not only the race, but the season here tonight. And we're going to change it up a little bit here tonight. Instead of talking with our podium finishers, we're going to talk to our top 6 championship contenders here tonight. Those top 6 that finished in those final result standings. And guys, it is time to catch up with our first man of the evening. I believe, Michael, you are catching up with our 6th place finisher here tonight. And we'll see who that is in just a second. Looks like it's going to be the 23 machine of Stephen Thomas, but we'll wait for Stephen to join us up here in the booth. And guys, as we have a second, what are your thoughts about tonight's race?
I thought it was wild and crazy. These guys went after it way harder than I thought they would, beginning to end. So it was really wonderful to see them race that way. You know, a lot of times they ride, they want to get laps in, but these guys were going for it all night long. I thought they put a great show on for the crowd.
Well, yeah, and Michael, you talked about that right there. Them guys racing hard, going at it, sending it at times, going into the turns and coming out of the turns. I mean, giving, just giving everything that they had. But at the same time, they were giving everything they had, but at the same time, they was using respect. It's like we talked about, Michael. These guys know they basically know each other. These guys have been racing around one another. Like you said, they basically have been going to racetracks to get them meeting up. Basically, everybody in this is friends. So that's really good to see all the hard racing, but all the respect that was given tonight.
I agree 100%. And I don't know if we're going to be able to make contact with Steven or not. If not, we may want to try to pull in our 5th place finisher, which I believe was Jose Luis Rivera.
Exactly there, Michael. You're going to catch up with Jose Luis Rivera, the driver of the number 20 machine. Was always in contention here tonight. Just had some late race troubles. Michael, take it away.
And Jose, I know it's not your favorite track, but man, what a great comeback from the first stage. Ran it up through there, good tire strategy. Hated to see you get caught up in the accidents, but can you put the season into perspective, being able to make it this far, race with the best of the best, and it's got to make you feel pretty good in the end, right?
Yeah, it feels good. We didn't have it early. I couldn't figure out the tire wear here. In the first stage, I fell from top 10 all the way down to like 19th. So, it was a struggle early. We decided to go with that bold pit strategy, come out in front, get the track position. And it worked for the most part. We stayed up in the top 10 for the rest of the race until everything at the end started falling apart. I didn't want to lose any of the leaders, so I tried to race a little hard there, try to clear myself a couple times. It didn't quite work out in my favor.
Yep, totally understood. I would have done the same thing. Well, after a great season, it's my honor to say, hey, shout out your sponsors, shout out everything, and we will see you in season 2.
Yes, sir. Well, season 7, but and I want to thank Dep Racing. I want to thank you first and foremost, actually, because Triple M pulling, everything you've done for the league, everything. You're the one that had faith in me. You had the one that had faith in Jacob, and here we are, both of us in the championship race. I mean, you've done so much for this league. We definitely appreciate you, and we hope to be racing with you more often. I want to thank Race Lab for letting me run their sponsor here. I want to thank Pulse Poppers. I want to thank all the announcers. Brady LaBeouf for making everything happen around here. And everyone behind the scenes. It's been a fun season.
Well, we appreciate you, Jose, all the way from Chicago, Illinois, everybody. There's your 5th place championship finisher, Jose Luis Rivera.
Yes, sir.
And now it is time to catch up with our 4th place finisher here tonight, guys. And I believe, Jacob, you're catching up with a fellow Jacob himself, Jacob Klinkart, the driver of the number 5 machine.
Yeah, we got Jacob Klinkart in the booth. Jacob, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, well, I mean, I know, like, we've talked about, I know this isn't the finish that you necessarily wanted, but can you put this race and actually this whole season into perspective, what it means to be in the championship 6 and was able to race for a championship tonight?
It means a lot. The race itself was a roller coaster, just like my season's been. I started off the season pretty strong, and then middle of the season, I kind of went into a slump. In playoffs, I kind of picked it back up again. And exact same thing happened tonight. I know it was a bit of a strategy call on my part, but I had a pretty shitty start to the beginning, and then middle, I got it back together, and then the end, I just couldn't get around some people.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, man, you've had a great season. We've seen you do some amazing things out here on the track, but going into season 7, just give me your shout outs, for everybody that's made it possible for you to be able to be here in this position.
By far, my team, Dep Racing, Michael McKinnon, he helped me a lot in season 3, and I wouldn't be here without him and his help, especially Keith Bradley, our championship winner. He was a part of that team along with Kyle Hess. Brady LaBeouf gave me a lot of support, and my teammates, Dep Racing, Triple M, Truck Pooling, all those guys, just everybody, and then obviously the fans, they help out a lot just being here. So.
All right, well, that's Jacob Clinkart, man. Congratulations on making the championship 6. Not what you wanted, but we'll see if you can give them a shot next season.
Yep, I plan to.
Alrighty, guys, and let's keep moving through these interviews. It is time to catch up with our third place finisher here this season, and I believe, Michael, you're catching up with the driver of the number 3 machine, Chris Cinnamon, who was in the mix all night long. Take it away.
Chris, you got a copy on me, bud.
I got you guys. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Great strategy call there at the end. Did it just take a little too long to clear the traffic to possibly give Keith a little bit of run for his money?
Yeah, I did. I got a little caught up there, and then yeah, he was flying. It was tough to beat him. We were running pretty similar lap times. I maybe got him by a tenth or so, but that was 1 or 2 laps. But that was it. I couldn't catch him anymore. But I was glad to see him win it, and now there's his all-time winner, I believe, or top winner, and he's been trying for a long time. So teammate of mine, great to see that.
Yeah, it was great for all of us. I think it was a little sentimental for all of us. We know how good he is. And all I can say, man, is you gave it a hell of a run every year. You seem to be here every time. And I guess we can assume we're going to see you season 7 doing the same thing to us.
Oh, you bet, boys. I'll be back. Hopefully another run to the end of the playoffs. And man, what a great group of guys. This has been one of the best seasons yet. We've had huge fields, pretty clean racing, great battles all year long. It's been a blast.
Well, I'm going to say this. For runner-up, it's not too bad. Get a nice little check. Now it's time. Shout out everybody you got. The great second place finish again. Just shout out everybody, and then we will see you a couple weeks from now.
Hey, first off the bat, of course, you supporting us all these years, getting this thing started, Mike, with Triple M Pulling and all the work you put in. We wouldn't be where we are today without you, and much appreciated all these years. Brady, too, the guys in the booth. Over at Over the Top Designs, John's always puts a good team in together and supports us every year, and glad to be back with him. So yeah, I'll shout out to the sponsors there: Blanchard's Towing, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, Over the Top Designs, and like I said, John gives me these wicked paint schemes, and whenever I'm having bad luck, I ask him for a new paint scheme, and he gets the hot rod going again, and we get back up the front of the field. Last but not least, GT Tactical Hydro Dipping. I've been watching those guys in the videos and the things they do with the body work and the paints they're doing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm pretty tempted. I'm going to send some stuff down to them to get some paint on one day. But yeah, that's the sponsors. Thank you, guys. It's been a hell of a year. Thanks to all the competitors. Can't wait for next year.
Info, man. We appreciate everything you do, and we'll see you soon, my friend. And I think now we're going to have Jacob catch up with our third place finisher, Adam Newbert, if we can find him on the line.
Yeah, Adam Newbert, this is Jacob Reeves. You got a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, fellow Georgia man, for fellow Georgia boy, excuse me, trying to give it all that he had right there to be able to try to be a champion. One thing I will ask you this, I mean, did you think about it right there at 17 laps ago? Was you thinking maybe I need to go in and get tires, or was you out of tires, or did that cross your mind? When you saw Bradley and them go in, did you think, damn, I should have went in?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even. The thought of pit never crossed my mind, and now I guess everybody can pick on me and say I pulled a Stephen Thomas and didn't go take tires. Just stupid, just freaking stupid. I thought I had it won before the caution. I honestly thought I was going to get around Keith right there and just stay in front of him, and then the caution come out, and then I didn't pit, and that's what lost the race. It was a stupid move. I just should have pitted. I didn't even cross my mind to even think to pit, and I don't know, just stupid.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you put up a hell of a fight tonight, but can you put it in perspective? What it's like to race here in the Triple M Pulling Truck Series with these guys, because we've talked, I've talked to Michael McKinnon about this, and we've talked to some other drivers about, some of these, everybody that races in this, what's your, I guess you could say, just put it in perspective for the folks at home about the camaraderie that this league has.
Yeah, I mean it's a pretty tight knit group. You know, we're all in a big group chat and we all talk and we all have fun and we all bicker and we all bicker like brothers and fight like brothers and we get along. We hug it out and we freaking tell each other we're stupid, but we all it's all fun. And the next day you might be mad at somebody the next day, one day, and the next day you're buddies again. So it's just kind of like a brotherhood, I guess. You know, racing with Keith, it's the guys like Chris Cinnamon and Keith Bradley and Stephen Thomas. I'll speak for Stephen because he got run over there and real unfortunate. I mean, it was just a battle between me and Stephen and Chris and Keith and. I'll speak for him that it's real unfortunate he got took out. But the racing against the guys like that every single freaking week is what I come to race for. I mean, me and Keith, I can't wait to go back and watch it on the broadcast because I know y'all have it on the broadcast. But the way we were racing right there before that caution come out with 17 laps to go, I mean, there's not many drivers in this league you can race like that. Well, I mean, there is. There's a handful of them. There's maybe 10 of them you can probably race like that. And it was a lot of fun before that. Just kind of bummed I didn't pit, my own stupidity.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, and we can't wait to see you next season here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. But you got anybody that you want to thank that's made this possible to where you're at?
I do. I thank Jeff Sickles and Stick With The Motorsports first off for giving me a ride and let me race with them. Thank Danco for coming on board this season and DSR Electric for coming on board this season and helping us out. They really meant a lot to me and the team, and DSR is really starting to mean a lot for people at NASRA. Thank A's Lawn Landscape and Darren's Nail Gun Repair. Millie's Landing, Millie's Restaurant and Catering. Brady and all the guys at NASRA. Cody, thank you, Michael. Thank you, Triple M. Michael, you in the booth?
Yeah, I'm here, bud.
Michael, thank you so much for freaking everything you've done for the league the last 3 or 4 seasons. Well, I guess really the whole time. I mean, you brought me into this league, and I've been freaking happy with it ever since I got here. I can't thank you enough, man. Everything you've done. I really hope you got a long way to go here. So I don't know. Thank y'all. Thank everybody, and thank the broadcasters. Y'all done a great job all season long. People probably, nobody probably tells y'all enough how great of a job y'all do. Y'all do an awesome freaking job. Really happy with talk to y'all.
Thank you, boss. I appreciate that.
And that was Adam Newbert, our runner-up here tonight. Also, our season champion, the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. We'll see him there on those Monday night races. But it is time to catch up with the animal himself, the champagne, the confetti. Everything that comes with a race victory is also going to be paired with a season championship victory for the 29 machine of Keith Bradley. You now officially can call him a champion. Keith, tell us how it feels.
Pretty surreal, honestly. With all the news coming out that I'm going to a new team, I couldn't find a better way to cap off the season and to cap off my run with Upfront Motorsports. I don't think I could have planned it any better.
This season has been amazing. I'd say you were in the mix of Adam Newbert, Joey Doucette there for the longest time as well. You come along, you win 3 races during this season. You stayed in contention during those playoff races as well. You get the job done in a Charlotte race that was high octane from the drop of the green flag. Take us through this race and how you were able to hold off other people.
The yellow helped for sure. Coming and grabbing a set of tires. I was kind of paying attention to see what Adam would do when I started to go down pit road. I noticed he was staying out, so I was like, well, I'll stay out too. And then something told me just stay on pit road, and the yellow helped more than it hurt all of us, I think.
As our season champion, the 29 machine of Keith Bradley is now joining us up here in the booth. I'll hand it over to the boss man himself, Brady LaBeouf. And Brady, do you have anything for our Triple M Pulling Truck Series champion now, Keith Bradley?
Yeah, I mean, Keith's been with us since the beginning, and having him in the booth tonight, champion. It took him 6 seasons. I did it before him, so he'll never be able to take that away from him. But he deserves it. Having him in the booth, Mike, Triple M, it's Nazareth. It's just it's like Keith said. It's surreal, and I'm glad I picked him last night on the podcast, so I get to rub that into Tyler Dittmer next Thursday night when we do our podcast. So I got a one-upper on Tyler if he's listening. But, yeah, just having Mike and Keith in the booth and crowning Keith the champion of Season 6 of Triple M Pulling Truck Series, it's awesome. He deserves it. All 6 of the guys involved tonight deserve it, but congratulations, Keith, man. I'm so proud of you, and I look forward to you running on my team next season.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. I mean, it's taken a lot of hard work to get here, coming in the first season and just really struggled. And then took me a season to get a win, got my first win in season 2. And then I don't know, everything started to feel more natural. And Michael McKinnon don't get the credit that he truly deserves, because I'm a dirt guy. I've always been a dirt guy, whether it's iRacing, real life, and I would always seesaw on the wheel, and Mike set me down and was like, you got to quit doing this. You quit doing it and you start winning races. And his advice really paid off. So anybody that has Mike on your team, listen to him. He's not kidding.
Well, I appreciate that one, Keith. I'm not going to take the praise for it, though. It's the talent, desire, and after 6 seasons, I just couldn't be happier to see you finally pay it off, take home the trophy, the big check. Like Brady said, I'm just so proud of you, man. Thanks for sticking with us, and wish we could be teammates next year, but it's just not going to work out for it. So I'll see you on the track next year, my man.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
As they say, animals don't hunt alone. Who can you think that's part of that pack? I know you just gave a bunch of praise to Michael McKinnon. I'm sure there's a lot of sponsors and a lot of other people that have pushed this 29 to incredible peaks this season.
Just everybody at Upfront Motorsports, all my teammates, Chris, both Chris's, Taylor Peacock, they've been a lot of fun to race with this season. And it sucks that next season I'm moving on to a different team, but things happen, and just got to give a big shout out to John Hedrick. I've been with him for the last 5 or 6 seasons. Me and him created Upfront Motorsports. Kind of took me under his wing and let me pick who I wanted, pretty much. And just big shout out to him. Over the Top Designs, Dan's Top Not Cheating, Coaling, Blanchard's Towing and Recovery, Grant Tactical, Hydrographic Printing and Dipping, Abruzzi Raceware, Hoopty's Garage, Pulse Poppers, and a big thank you to Triple M Bowling and Michael McKinnon again. He has been a big supporter of this whole league as the title sponsor, and we're excited to have him continue as a driver presence, and really excited to have a new title sponsor come in. And thank you to you guys up in the booth for all your hard work this season, and everybody within Nazareth. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, there you go, guys. The season started in January. Here tonight in the month of June 23rd, we crowned Keith Bradley, the driver of the 29 machine out of Lawrenceburg, Indiana, the Triple M Pulling Truck Series champion. Another special thing about that, Keith Bradley, there will not be another Triple M Pulling Truck Series champion. You'll be the last one here on this Friday night. Congratulations once again from us here, not only for the race victory, but a championship. It's been an absolute blast watching you this season.
Thank you, Will.
And guys, it looks like that's going to bring conclusion to our race here tonight in a season. And Jacob and Michael, I'll bring you back up here. And Guys, we couldn't ask for more, really. This Friday night races have been incredible week after week. We've had upsets, we've had big wins, we've had blowout races, if you want to call it. But here tonight, it's the animal that gets the championship. What are your final thoughts about here tonight, the Queen City?
Well, my final thoughts are this. I can't thank these guys enough. I mean, they're all praising me. I did this or I did that. To me, that was just the correct thing to do to build this to where it needed to be. I'm excited for the future with drivers like Adam Newton coming back in, Ashley Dotson, guys we hadn't seen in a while. We're going to see several other people, different teams moving. But the one constant from what I hear is Will and Jacob, you're both going to be back next season to call all this action again, and I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm real excited about it too. I mean, like I said earlier, the short time that I've been here with the Nazareth 360 Racing Network, I've enjoyed every bit of it. But the main thing about it is when you've got a good product out on the track to be able to call the race the way that we have for this series for the Triple M Point Truck Series on Friday nights. It just makes your job so much easier when there's just been so much great racing that we have seen out of everybody in the field. I mean, every single one of these guys should hang their hat, or excuse me, hang their head high, raise their head high, stand up. Everybody, they done basically a hell of a job. Every single one of these guys, and that's why they're in this series. That's why this series is talked about so much because these guys put on a great show every single night, and it is a blessing, honestly, to sit here and watch these races and call these races. So, I mean, that's my perspective from what I've seen so far, and I can't wait to get the next season started.
No, Jacob, and I think you just said it best there. Without the excellent driving and the talent of these drivers here, we would have nothing to call up here in the booth. And folks, I know you've tuned into races along the season that have been gapped out races where people have won by 7-8 seconds. That just shows that we only have one or two of those races in an entire 26-week season. And from the likes of Joey Doucette's consistency all season, just barely missing out on that regular season championship, missing the championship by 1 point here. Look at the runs of Jacob Klinkart throughout the season. We look at Adam Newbert, of course, the money man. He wins the championship Monday night, tried to come in here and win a championship Friday nights, just came very, very short. But guys, I think our champion here tonight that was crowned, Keith Bradley, was a man all season long that came onto our radars the second half of the season, won 3 races the second half of the season, stayed in contention in those playoff races, did what he had to do to advance, and advance he did all the way to a championship race. And guys, I gotta say, I want to thank those drivers, as Jacob, you just did here. I want to thank everybody who's worked along with me here since January, whether it's been Wesley Outland, whether it's been Tyler Dittmer, whether it's been Brady LaBeouf, yourself, Jacob Reeves, Michael McKinnon, everybody involved this season. I couldn't have asked for more, guys. It has been an absolute blast, and I cannot wait for next season.
Yeah, I can't wait for it neither. I mean, like we've seen all the talent that these guys have right here, and basically we're just gonna re-rack them. Everybody's gonna be set at 0, and here we go. We're gonna go one more time, basically like what we've had this season. So I'm telling you, folks. I mean, if these bad boys get fired back up, we're gonna be right here with the headsets on. We're gonna have the mics on, and you might wanna pencil it down on your calendar and get ready for some Friday night racing. Because I'm telling you, these guys are legit. These guys are here to stay. You fixing to see some great racing here in the coming Friday nights.
And I'd like to say, if you'd like to be part of this and you're still watching the broadcast now, contact Brady over at Nazareth Racing on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. We'll find you a spot to race. If you qualify with our standards, you can race with us. And let me say again, thank you to all the drivers. Thank you to you guys. It's been my honor to be the title sponsor. And I'll see you boys and girls on the track here in a couple weeks. And Will, thank you again. Jacob, thank you.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
And And there's no better way to end a season than on a high note. And again, I want to thank Michael McKinnon and Triple M Pulling for being a wonderful title sponsor all season long. Has been, you could hear it from all the drivers in their post-season interviews of their appreciation for everything that Triple M Pulling has done for the 6 long seasons there, Michael. So again, thank you for everything that you've done. But folks, that's going to bring an end to this season here, the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Don't fret though, we're going to take a season off. We'll kick up with those dual races, the Clash races, and then again Speedways at Daytona. But again, tune in to the Nazareth 360 Racing Network come this Monday for the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But for myself, William Tiller, Michael McKinnon, Jacob Reeves, and the man providing all the sights and sounds all season long, Mr. Adam Flieger. Again, we want to wish our biggest congratulations to the animal, Keith Bradley, the driver of the 29 machine, for not only winning the race, but winning the season championship. As Michael said, we'll see you on the racetrack real soon. Have a great night and enjoy that championship, Keith Bradley.